What is going on, everybody? Primetime 27 fight. We have sorry, Primetime 27. TD Styles, Khamzat, Chimaev, Borgs Chimaev got an absolutely stacked night of fights as always. Honestly, line top to bottom, as you see, EK Slick, LFC Zombies, Dirty Dave, SpaceBoi, Dale Denton, Warbzy. Those guys on a undefeated streak at the moment. I think they're both like 3-0. We have the pleasure of being joined back in the commentary booth with Onrius or Onrius. How you doing there, brother? Good to have you back.
Oh, you know, I had to take a personal break. It was very fulfilling. You know, I'm on my right mindset now, and pleasure to be back as always, commentating with you.
Yeah, great to have you back, brother. Great to have you back. Well, like I say, we have absolutely non-stop, action top to bottom through the entire card there. Early prelims. We have a couple of guys just making their debuts or kind of had a couple of performances in the promotion so far. Bailey X106 on the PS side up against LW. I don't know how you say that name. Is it Jaquise? But lightweight division, we're not going to waste any time on it there, guys. Want to make sure that these guys get an opportunity to get their debut out on the cards as early as possible. Lightweight is always a very fun weight class. It has a lot of picks there, Wondrous. I mean, obviously, whether you want to be a striker, grappler, so on and so forth. Who's your sort of pick in this weight class?
Which weight class are you saying? Or
lightweight, brother, lightweight.
Oh, lightweight. I've been favoring Tony Ferguson recently just because he has a very wide arsenal overall. It's just a supremely dominant pick as of now.
Yeah, like you say, there's a lot of balance in it. Tony Ferguson, great pick. We don't see him here this evening. Poirier, Gaethje, they do also seem to be very popular picks these days. Obviously, Poirier's got the power in the hands, so has Gaethje. Bit of a different in the approach, so I think that a little bit of an advantage to Dustin in the grappling exchanges, especially the bottom side of things, but don't imagine we're going to see too much of that, especially with the PlayStation guys. They often come to throw leather, often and early, opening up with a leg kick, sign of respect from one man, but not the other. No wasting time, brother.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you see these people, they try, you know, there's always that one feeling in the fight where it can be respectful or not, you know. Some people feel like they come to a fight, they just want to fight, so it's always a different side of things at that point. Great combo, though, to open it up.
Starting it out quickly. See a couple of leg kick feints. It looks like Gaethje has the leg kick game plan in this one. Poirier not liking it at all. Getting the takedown early. Gotta love to see it. Poirier's going to be feeling nice and comfortable. The LW campmate now looking to go over into side control. Does so very nicely. Said I wasn't going to see too much ground game. Looks like I was wrong. Educated game plan by Poirier. Really is going to start to take the gas out of Gaethje's gas tank, unless he gets reversed like that.
That's actually a big reversal. Now, Gaethje's not well known for great bottom game or, you know, grappling in that department, but he makes the smart move and goes back to, you know, standing up, and he lands a few good hooks right there.
Nice leg kick as well from Chiquise. Answering back is Bailey trying to. These guys a little bit tentative in the opening going. Seems to be exchanging a lot of leg kicks. Another takedown attempt from Lethal Weapons. Chiquise gets it on that one as well. Straight into side control on this one. It's going to be about what he's able to do down here, though, right? It's one thing getting those positions, securing them, and getting off that ground and pound or maybe submission threats is really where the difference comes, though. He's doing a great job so far, slicing across.
Yeah, it's definitely a very technical battle on the ground where I actually favor Poirier. When you saw them at the stand-up, that's Bailey, right? Bailey was trying to go for, Bailey was going for the kicks, and some of them were. That's a problem overall, but he just keeps landing those ground and pound shots, and it's just tearing away at Bailey's health.
Just raining them down again. I mean, this is good ground and pound, though. He's done this twice now. Gets the head health blinking or within that blinking range. Gaethje's not going to be feeling great about it. He keeps going for these big movements, trying to get like an easy reversal, but it looks like Chiquise is all over it. I apologize if I'm butchering your name, my man, but that's how I'm going to say it for this one.
Yeah, he's definitely showing an educated game plan from top control, and you see Bailey kind of struggling. Oh, back into that back mount, right into back flat, and this is a very dangerous position. Yeah,
a little bit of a panic setting in. He gives up his back, gets flattened out. That ground and pound was beautiful. Obviously manages to stay with those active hips, riding it back to half guard, but he's not out of the woods, man. He's having Poirier just pouring on the pressure right now.
Yeah, you see the man from Lethal Weapons is definitely showing a lot of composure on the ground, waiting for his opportunity, and this could be a dangerous aspect as we're leading to the 7 seconds. Maybe adds a little bit of points, but he's just feeling him out, seeing what he can do with that submission.
Yeah, it secures it as well, right? Like you say, he's not getting out of that position for the last couple of seconds. Easy, dominant control goes in the judges' scorecards, especially after the ground and pound that he was able to get a little bit earlier on in that round. So very, very impressive from the LW campsman. He's come out and had a great adjustment. These guys looked a little bit tentative on the feet, and then were able to really work it around when he shot for the takedowns. That was really the difference in that first round. We'll have to see if Gaethje's able to adapt to that there, one Russ, or if he's going to have a bit of a problem with it, much like in the first round.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see more feints coming out of him in that defensive ground posture, as they're just, willing to stand and trade for a bit. But I do believe, Chiquise is probably going to shoot for a takedown in the near future.
Got to imagine. So he seems pretty calm, though. He doesn't seem like he's, flustered on the feet. He's eaten a couple of shots, maybe marching for... Oh! That's a big knockdown from Bailey. He needs a little bit more of this. Gaethje trying to live up to the nickname, landing those big, powerful shots, trying to sit him down once more in the second round. The more you can turn the tide here, the better. Obviously, tough first round for him, but a big start. His head health is blinking there, one rush, though. Looks like Poirier's trying to turn it back on him and get a rock of his own.
Yeah, that ground and pound was a story of the first round, but he lands those beautiful shots and sets him down again. I want to see a little bit more composure from Bailey, because he honestly could just, you know, win this second round just off those knockdowns alone.
Yeah, I mean, talking about composure, he did really well to block that takedown attempt on the last one right there. We'll have to see. He knows that there's going to be another one coming. Only 3 minutes left in this round. I say only 3 minutes. Over half of the round left. Big miss, though. Jaquise lands a hook. Doesn't quite get the rock, but does on those.
And he's evening it out on the round 2 points. Now he landed a huge knockdown, but he gets rocked, and he gets dropped again with a beautiful uppercut. This could be it. Oh, he just survives.
Yeah, no, he's pouring it on right now. This is great work for him. Good defense from Jaquise. Holding the bottom side of things, stopping the post drop. First time at least. I think that's a good game plan from Gaethje. He was having great success on the feet. Doesn't want to get reversed. No, eats a couple of bombs, bro.
Oh,
maybe it's not such a good idea there, Wanderers. Maybe not.
That was it, ladies and gentlemen. The damage accumulated from the ground and pound into the second round with that knockdown. He just regains his composure and just lands that finishing pivotal blow. It's definitely a great highlight, because, you know, we saw him have a little bit of adversity in round 2, but he just comes back with a beautiful, decisive victory.
Yeah, no, that's great work from him. Good first round from Dustin Poirier. Like you say, terrible second round up until that moment right there. Able to turn it round, walks away with the W, and Jaquise got to be feeling very, very good about himself after that performance. Like you say, a little bit of adversity is not, you know, not untoward. You kind of almost want a little bit, right? A little tiny bit of adversity. You want to win, of course, but you don't want... At least myself, I like a kind of back and forth fight. I know, obviously, you kind of... If you could, most people are going to take a, you know... what is it? Flawless performance, but yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those fights. It's early prelim, and it's a banger of a fight already. And now, Mr. Cool Guy versus Tio Soul. I have, you know, ran into Tio Soul in the past. I was kind of nervous for that fight, so I didn't play my best. But he is very well defensive on the ground game. He has great ground game, and his defense from bottom is exceptional.
Well, on that point, I mean, Tio Soul recently has made some adjustments to his game there, one wrestler. I mean, we saw him in some of his past performances come out there and really look to utilize, you know, counter-striking. He backed himself up against the cage and, you know, would look to throw strikes from there. These most recent performances, though, he's actually been offensively grappling. And it's been a really nice ripple to his game. Had a little bit more of a proactive game. Approach to his game all round, and it's really had, you know, strong success for him so far. We'll have to see if that's an option that he goes for tonight. It looks like he's got the Marlon Moraes pick, so maybe a bit more of a striking orientated attack coming from him in this one.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting pick into a Dillashaw. Marlon Moraes is pretty well balanced as well. Though he might utilize, like you said, the counter-striking or possibly go to the ground at any given point.
A little bit of a calm, composed. Once again, going back to the leg kicks, we're seeing a lot more of those recently. Those calf kicks. Oh, nice double head kick. Spins, goes for the double uppers. Loading up on some bombs is Joey.
Yeah, Joey's just...
Jesus. Wait, sorry, you overhanded him out of the air.
Oh, he's not in a good spot right now. All those flashy techniques did land, but you see already a pretty big stamina differential.
Nice leg kicks again. Yeah, no, it's a lot of those leg kicks, a couple of missed attempts, and that body rock. What a shot from Goddess.
This is definitely going to change the aspect of this fight, as he's looking a little bit more measured in his approach rather than just, you know, throwing volume. Goddess is focusing on just landing those crisp, clean shots and just making him pay for all those missed attempts.
Oh!
Oh,
Once again, and the uppercut to boot sits him down, using the footwork, trying to cover that distance, giving him all the angles he can read. Sol now going for that single leg attempt and able to get it. 2 minutes to work there, Onrius, and he's had a lot of success in his previous performances once he's been able to hit the mat.
yeah, and like I said, I didn't have such a great approach to the, that match I had, and he definitely is showing some composure on the ground. Maybe he was a little bit, shaken on the feet, but this is definitely, a great fight for the second early prelim. I can't imagine what the whole card is going to be like.
It's starting out great, man. I mean, that was a lovely little step off with TJ Dillashaw using the footwork, but once again gets caught mid-air. He needs to be minding his P's and Q's. When he's keeping it simple, he's landing nicely, but some of those big movements like the Superman punch are getting him caught by Joey. Seems to have his counters down to a T.
Yeah, it seems like Joey's trying to go for that really quick early finish, and Goddess is just content to just counter him.
Nice. Once again, the slip on this one, though. Now he's pouring it forward with the gas tank empty of Joey. This is beautiful work from UFC Goddess. They're putting together a nice, clean performance thus far.
Yeah, he's definitely, they're taking their time and just picking him apart while Joey's just trying to go for that quick finish. And at the end of the day, in round 2, that's going to play a major part of how this fight turns out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll have to see what his recovery is, but normally TJ's recovery is better than Marlon Moraes', and with the damage that's output, you know that he's going to be coming out looking the fresher of it in pretty much all regards. Like you said, the biggest part of it, though, is going to be that confidence factor. The only thing he needs to be careful of there, Onrius, is getting overconfident, which so far he hasn't, but it's easy to when you've almost got a double stamina advantage and, head health advantage on your opponent.
Yeah, if I was UFC Goddess right now, I would just be content to stick with the body work, but he does get taken down. But with the stamina disadvantage like that, there's not much he could possibly do in the way of ground and pound as his stamina will continue to deplete. He does get reversed. This is definitely not a good look for him right now.
No, on the point, I mean, it also opens you up to more easily, or to be more easily reversed when your stamina is that low. Of course, the GA, the stamina, all playing advantages and disadvantages in those sorts of positions. Now we see Mr. Cool Guy, UFC Goddess, raining down some shots in ground and pound, or looking to do so before getting pulled back down. This is, a great approach from him, but I honestly feel like standing back up may be the better option. He was having such success on the feet. It looked like Joey was having real difficulty missing, a lot of the shots other than those big Superman punches and, things of that sort. This is a calm and calculated approach. That's nice to know.
Yeah, he's definitely just holding on the ground, content to just rain those small shots, possibly get a decent posture up and rain some ground and pound. But every moment Joey's on his back, he's definitely losing this fight in the round 2, and especially with some of those counter shots he landed, definitely not looking good for him going into possibly the later stages of round 2 or early round 3.
Superman punch attempt. Didn't get kicked in the face on that one. These leg attacks are really going to start to do good work for him. Attacking the body when his opponent's moving the head. Beautiful work from Mr. Cool Guy as he's just single-shotting, picking his opponent apart.
Yeah, he's definitely finding he's struggling, trying to figure out where he's going to land. When you're that weak in stamina, any shot can hurt you. And he lands a beautiful head kick.
Oh my god, he sways into that one.
Up on the head kick, and wow, this could be, if he lands that one more solid strike, it could put UFC Goddess away, but he's just maintaining his composure.
Joey is game, brother. Joey's game, right? It's never over until it's over, and that was almost over right there. It is!
Just one too many whiffs ends the night, but what a fight. He definitely was the crowd pleaser in this one, but he wasn't as lucky when it came to the strikes.
My god. Okay, well, no, that was a beautiful performance from Mr. Cool Guy. He came out and looked fantastic tonight. We do have a late edition fight that I've been notified of, so what we're going to do is we're going to switch across very briefly to the full graphic. I don't believe it's on there. We're going to be having Sean Corky, Spartan War, up against B.I. Dadoing? Dadoing. That's what I'm going to say the name is, Dadoing. So, that is the short notice fight. I do not know these guys personally. Lots of PlayStation guys coming through. I've heard great things about the scene overall. Without further ado, though, brother, let's get straight into it.
I will fill in with this. I saw a Sean Corkery fight recently when I was commentating for another league, having to fill in on short notice. And the man was Conor McGregor, and he got knocked down 7 times and somehow came back and knocked his opponent out. It was insane.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
do that again, possibly. You know, it's not against someone like Brian Ortega, because if you do unload that flurry and get knocked down, Brian Ortega will have the advantage on the ground.
So a couple of things I'm already noticing. Obviously, we're seeing Ortega really try to take the lead of this fight and march forward. Spartan War taking a little bit more of a countered approach. I did like the fact that as soon as Spartan War got kind of knocked off and his stance was switched, he instantly recognized it and switched back. So it shows that he's aware, he's cognizant of what's going on in his surroundings, landing some good counter shots right now. Nice head kick from that man.
Yeah, talking from personal experience, one switch stance can definitely get you out of danger of a head kick, and he's definitely showing a very decent, you know, just a well-rounded game. Every time he switches stance, he's very comfortable from both sides.
Yeah, well, mainly he's doing it just to set up that left hand. I mean, sometimes in these exchanges, when you're checking kicks and so on, you can get a little bit turned around and your power hand maybe not in the most ideal position. Obviously, Conor McGregor, one of those players where having his left hand, that power hand set up to do the damage it needs to, is very, very important. Right now, though, I'll be honest with you, he's doing a great job. We're seeing so much pressure out of the dying. He's doing, you know, pretty well himself, making it uncomfortable, but just getting caught a little bit too much on these counters. The body work overall is doing absolutely great for McGregor.
Yeah, he's showing some really great slips, and like you called on, the body work is definitely the tail of the tape right now. It's slowly winning him that stamina battle, and it's overall had cleaner striking, and he just rocks him and it pushes him back. But
yeah,
the doing is still unperturbed. He just marches forward.
Yeah, he kind of maybe took the zombie trait from Zombie and is now just marching forward, trying to get it. Honestly, I think that he's doing fantastic work, you know, in terms of making it uncomfortable. Just walking onto too many shots is a bit of the problem. Now it's on the ground. Obviously, he has his opportunities to try and get something going there, One Rios. If there's anybody that can do so, that's going to be Brian T-City Ortega.
Yeah, Ortega has some really good top pressure, and if you notice, he's definitely not trying to posture up and just lose that advantage on the ground. He did try to go for top mount, but, you know, Spartan was definitely cognizant of that and avoided him from getting that obvious advantage on the ground.
This is great work from him. Postured. Stack guard is a position where you can rain down a lot of ground and pound. Nice denial. I mean, that was great from Dadoing. He's showing that he has some grappling chops and is going to be dangerous when he gets down here. Another excellent denial. No time on this one, but that's going to play into the, you know, into the head of McGregor. He knows that if he gets taken down again, that Ortega is all over the submission or the denials and potentially the submissions as well. You know, you see somebody with that sort of submission denial, transition denial, then you know that they're going to be pretty well versed in all regards, whether it be the submission, offense, defense, and so on.
And like you said, you don't usually see a lot of those get-up denials. They are kind of hard to deny, but he's definitely showing a very well-rounded game, whereas it might be on the striking to Spartan's advantage. He's showing a great level of composure on the ground.
Yeah. Honestly, Spartan's definitely having the edge in the feet. I just feel like, as to be expected with the picks, as soon as it hits the grappling exchanges, Ortega Dadoing is just so far ahead. That's fun. That's a fun name to say, Dadoing. It's a really fun name to say.
It just reminds me of a slinky going down the stairs.
Dadoing. Right now he's turning into a bit more of a Beyblade though, getting those spinning elbows now in the head kick. The Doing is trying to get something going with the rangy shots. Spartan War maybe being a little bit more tactical, a little bit of, wariness setting in because of the takedown and the grappling that the opponent was able to do at the end of that first round. Now the big shots land for McGregor. Gets that knockdown, marching forward, sits him down once again, Rios. This might be it, or very close to it.
He's showing a great, vast, huge change in his striking. He's trying to shorten up his shots and just land those crisp, clean shots, and it's working for him. I don't really see a Conor McGregor usually taking, somebody like Brian Ortega down. I wouldn't suggest it, but maybe he has something up his sleeve that we don't know about. Oh, he gets reversed, though. That's definitely not what he wanted.
Yeah, no, so far, so good. I mean, like I said, when he gets down on the ground, Brian Ortega just seems to be a little bit of a level above Spartan on the ground. He's got 2 minutes now instead of 1 minute to work, and we saw how dangerous he was with 1 minute to go. So you've got to imagine with that extra 60 seconds, he's got all the time he needs to set up some of these offensive opportunities.
Sean Corkery is showing some great defense on the ground, though. A cool-headed composure to every single strike he gets. He lands those just to get that GA up. Is definitely showing some very good cognizant awareness that he needs to keep it at his level. And wow, another takedown. I think he's just mainly...
Mate, this is it. This is it. I'm sorry, but the combinations are there. He pulls him down into full mount. Doesn't matter how your jiu-jitsu is when you're getting rained down shots on your face in fucking top mount, man. The reversal is here, though, and this is where it gets dangerous. Now McGregor finds himself on bottom, only 35 seconds on the clock, Rios. I mean, these guys are staying real active. I mean, they're taking some risks, not a lot of time,
This is literally like watching a barrel roll down the hill, just reversals nonstop. It just keeps going, and wow, he's landing some heavy shots. And at this point, like I said from the first game, it's that stamina advantage. When you do have your opponent on the ground, there's not many tools you can use with that little amount of stamina left.
Well, it's you're right. I mean, when you get this sort of stamina advantage, it does start to play all sorts of problems for your opponent. Of course, they become a little bit more laborsome in their movements. Their punches don't quite have the same pop that they once did in them. We see that Spartan, though, is just paying so much respect. He waits for his opponent to overcommit, and now he's just marching forward. Look at these combos, brother. Look at these combos. He's pretty much going to sit him down with one of them. I'm just amazed his opponent was able to shell up so well to survive that onslaught.
I do believe the Doing is fluent in sign language because all he is seeing is hands right. And he gets dropped. And instead of just jumping down into the full guard, he's content to just land some great shots in the stack guard and just bide his time. Just very composed in this fight where he feels like he's possibly completely winning it at this point.
Yeah, no, he has to be, man. He has like fucking 7 knockdowns or some shit. He is landing. Look at the shots. Nothing to could have done at that point. The damage was too high. He showed that he had chops on the ground, but McGregor's hands is all it took tonight. He looked fantastic, Rios. Honestly, the all-round defense, like you said, the composure, and just his ability to land those hands when he needed to, that's great work from him for sure.
The awareness, the composure, all of that was the tape of this fight. And like I told you, in one of those fights I saw with him, he was getting destroyed. He was getting knocked down 7 times, and he came back and knocked out his opponent. So this is nearly a flawless performance from him for this fight.
I mean, from what you're saying, last time out he got knocked down 7 times. This time he may have knocked down his opponent 7 times. So he did absolutely fantastic. Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic, brother. Like, quite genuinely, that was a very, very good dominant performance from that man right there. He should be very proud with his overall performance, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got, in store for us on one of his next performances. It does take us on to our first PlayStation bout of the evening, though. We're going to be having the one and only KM Adjust up against LW Shane. Oh, sorry, I do apologize. I think the mic's cut out for a moment. The computer may have taken a momentary dump, but it looks like we're back. That does take us back onto the first Xbox bout of the match, just to reiterate it in case the microphones didn't pick it up there, Wondrous. We're going to be having KM Adjust up against LW Shane. Two guys have been around in the scene for quite a long time. Adjust has been in a couple of different camps, originally from the Easy Boys. Knew him from before that. He's one of my favorite strikers to watch, to be perfectly honest with you. Up against another very, very entertaining striker, a bit more of a pressure style in LW Shane. So a really, really entertaining matchup in the Bantamweight division there, Wondrous. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of coming across either of these guys yourself personally.
During my short stint in Easy, I actually had the pleasure of sparring Adjust, and at the end of the day, I can't really say it was a pleasure because I was absolutely getting pieced up and dominated from every angle. But you also have, like you said, Shane, you know, he's somewhat of the fan favorite because he always pulls out those off-minute picks. We did see him on Bruce Lee at one point, and it was a great fight overall. It was very back and forth. He was unlucky in that aspect. He didn't get the win, but it was overall a nice fight to see.
For sure, brother, for sure. Well, these guys have just readied up, so they are loading in as we speak. I think I saw a Rob Font pick. I think I saw a Cody Garbrandt pick. Do not quote me on it. We're about to find out. That I did. My eyes did not deceive me. Rob Font up against Cody Garbrandt. Adjust with Cody. Shane with Rob Font. Really, really fun matchup. These picks, they really complement their styles. Adjust a little bit more of a counter striker. Rob Font a little bit more of a pressure fighter, likes to work behind that jab, and I think that's the the hallmarks of Shane and Adjust to a T. We see Adjust trying to take the center early, but big power shots landing for Shane.
Yeah, I definitely hope this does not go like the fight that we saw in real life. I do believe Adjust is going to definitely put on those great counter shots into play.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that that Adjust is going to be able to do really, really well is try to minimize the effectiveness of the jab of Rob Font if he looks to utilize that reach. That's a lovely combination, though. Shane is keeping it unorthodox and honestly taking a little bit more of the counter approach in the opening going of this first round. So far, so good for him. He's probably having slightly the better of the exchanges, although Adjust is marching forward, looking to try and get some damage going as early as possible.
Yeah, and with the Cody Garbrandt pick, all those shots landing add up, and eventually, that chin's gonna wear down. It being very low, his recovery not being so great. So I like to see this pressure coming from Adjust instead of just the counter striking. He's definitely marching forward and playing very well into the Garbrandt game.
Yeah, I mean, he's it's all good to go, Garbrandt. You just don't want to go full Garbrandt, and he's doing a good job of keeping it fairly composed, landing some good shots. He's throwing a little bit more actively than we've seen in past performances, trying to get something going, but this may be due to some of the combinations that Rob Font has been able to land. Shane has been doing a great job of landing some clean combinations, and then Adjust marching forward, breaking the block of Shane and landing some shots through it as well. Nice check from him as well. Marching forward, double jab straight.
And definitely the skill is shining right now as you see both players with just about the same stamina, kind of contrary to our last fights.
Yeah, no, and oh, Jesus, that was almost really bad.
That was a questionable cartwheel, but definitely a little flashy play just to put it in the mind of Shane. But Shane's staying very composed and he's picking his shots, throwing those feints out there, giving a lot of things for Just to kind of measure and see out there.
I mean, it's interesting to note. I mean, in the early going, it looked like Shane was more than happy to take the back foot, but now he's really, really trying to circle and take that center stage, starting to try and take a little bit more of the matador role. Nice work, though, by Adjust, just being out of range of that kick, coming in with a couple of counters, bursting on those combinations, trying to land them beautifully. It's interesting to note there, Wondrous. Oh, never mind!
Oh, huge drop. This is definitely crazy right now because you don't usually see this when somebody's playing Garbrandt, able to wear down that block, even taking a few shots and still plowing forward against what we currently know is a possible meta as Rob Font.
Oh my, that overhand was very, very close. Nice combination to close it out by a just. Taps him on the shoulder, does Rob Font. A little bit of camaraderie at the end of that round. But no, that round is adjusts with the 2 leg health events. I can't remember what the other stun was. I think maybe have been a body stun or a knockdown. That was a knockdown, wasn't it? 2 leg events and a knockdown. That was a big round for just overall. But it was honestly, Shane was doing great up until those moments. So I'll be interested to see how they approach neither guy out of it. A little bit of a stamina advantage to your previous point there with Shane, but it looks like his head health is being chomped at and could become problematic as the seconds tick on in this round.
Yeah, you definitely see Adjust playing to his, he's playing to his best with a technical skill. He does have that, chin disadvantage, but he's just playing forward and landing beautiful shots.
He really is. I mean, look, the thing I was going to say earlier is Adjust, interestingly to note, he's always been a bit more of a counter-striker recently, obviously joining the KM camp, training with a lot of great pressure fighters like Tadpole and the like. So obviously looking to implement that and really being a little bit more active in this performance. Eats a couple of big shots there. He has to be, careful of not maybe getting too active though, even though he's getting the damage off, doesn't want to burst that stamina. We've seen Shane look to turn the tides once or twice, has to do a little bit of a better job of defending that head if he wants the opportunity to do so, because Adjust is landing clean with so many combinations.
Yeah, the head health is flashing. You wouldn't expect that from Rob Font into Cody Garbrandt, but those technical shots are just tearing him apart. He's picking him at will.
Nice work. Tries to feint across, knee on belly. Now raining down. The ground and pound isn't able to get it. Honestly, back and forth, this is a really well composed all-round performance. I think this is good work from Shane. There's still 2 minutes left on the clock. If he's able to get some of these dominant positions and rain down ground and pound like this, that could really start to play the difference if they do manage to make it into the 3rd round. Honestly, there's enough time to finish him, though, from these top positions.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Rob Font is usually better off his back. He doesn't have the greatest top control, but Shane is using it to his advantage right now and just chipping away at his health, showing some different looks and trying to get that damage down on him right now to even it out. Definitely might be a problem considering the lack of stamina coming from Adjust. It's a huge stamina disadvantage, but he's just landed by far the better strikes in this fight.
Yeah, on the feet, I think that it was starting to be Cody Garbrandt, even though he's getting the stamina deficit, but this ground work is really good by Shane. His stamina was too low on that one, though. Gets reversed, only 35 seconds left on the clock. Does Adjust look to get some ground and pound of his own? No, he separates. Nope. Looks for some big shots instead. Can't blame him, because he gets ones like that, and that's the finish!
Oh, man. Somebody called the mortician. He might have been dead after his neck goes to that impossible angle against the cage. That was
his neck got snapped. He got sent to the Netherrealm with that one.
That was a huge comeback from Adjust, showing the composure to get that reversal, as Shane possibly made that, that mistake of gassing out, trying to go for that finish on the ground. Beautiful fight from both gentlemen. At points, it was definitely back and forth, and as you see, the strikes were very similar, but Adjust landing the cleaner shots just closed it out.
Yes, sir. I have another very fun fight for y'all planned next. We're going to be having Tran up against LW Tabarick. Another... Say again, sorry, bro?
Mike Tran.
Mike Tran, yes, sir. BSD Mike Tran, the Mike Train is all aboard up against LW Tabarick. Now, honestly, these guys all rounded had ups and downs in the league, but not due to anything other than just having some tough matchups at times. Obviously, these guys looking like they're 3-3. We know a lot about Mike Tran being a whirly veteran. Obviously, much can be said the same about his opponent Tabarick there from the LW camp. Both got opposing camps here, BSD, LW. You always love to see how they match up, the different styles that you see being embedded in each of the camps out there. There's always kind of telltale signs of who you represent. These guys looking for a Jorge Masvidal pick, Gilbert Burns, maybe a little bit of grappling on the cards from from his opponent here. Maybe he's looking to take it down a little bit as Tabrik. It wouldn't be a bad choice, but we know that he's got the boxing with Boons as well, so you've got to imagine a little bit of grappling though, right, Wanderers? Jorge Masvidal.
Oh, yeah.
Jorge's too dangerous.
You know, that top ground. And we saw a little bit of it, you know, realistically as well, but I do believe he's just going to try to apply pressure, push forward, and just land the cleaner shots. Gilbert Burns is exceptional off his back, so we'll just have to see, really.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about like jiu-jitsu guys though is that you're so comfortable is that you can start to blast head kicks and body kicks, and even if they catch you and take you down, it's not too much of a problem because you've got so many threats off your back. Right now, Boons is really, really pressing forward. I think as you dictated a moment ago would be the case. Nice work from Mike Tran. Mike Tran's really good at doing that. He's really good at countering pressure just by landing some of these shots on the inside. Look at the straight, the uppercut. Now got him in the clinch, pushing him up against the cage, making his presence known. He isn't going to be backed up easily tonight there, Wanderers.
Yeah, that was definitely an early knockdown. It's got to play well into the confidence. And he's just landing those heavy shots and they're not just throwing with reckless abandon. Every shot is either landing on the block or on the face, too.
Nice spin kick to the body. Has to be careful that his opponent doesn't start to circle to the power side as he's already started to do so. Honestly, nice work from both guys. Mixing up to the body. It's like anything you can do, I can do better. Lands the double uppers. Now rips to the body. Tabrik marching forward, trying to get some... Oh my God!
He got a little bit too aggressive, and Mike Tran literally made it pay right there, and he's possibly trying to go for that takedown now to, you know, even it out. He gets back, but now he's in back mount. I wonder what we'll see from here. Honestly, he could get the top mount reversal or get his back.
Yeah, top mount reversal is definitely the way. The ground and pound's definitely going to be following if he gets the opportunity. Jorge not allowing him to, staying very active, shrimping back to half guard, but not out of the woods as his opponent postures up and slices across into the side control. Once again, Onrus, I mean, just very, very dangerous when you've got so much time on the clock and such a dangerous opponent like Gilbert Burns on top of you.
He tries to go for that sneaky one, and he gets it. Instead of getting that full guard transition, he gets his back and just wisely stands up. He does not want anything to do with him on the ground right now.
Do not blame him at all. Gilbert Burns so dangerous down there with the submissions. He's got so much power in those hands as well with the ground and pound opportunities. And honestly, Mike Tran doing a great job on the feet of just picking him apart, really sniping forward with that straight. He protects the body beautifully as well. On any time he's gassed, he knows his opponent's going to try and get money in the bank.
Oh, beautiful uppercut as Gilbert Burns drops for that. And Saparik is showing a little bit of adversity in coming into this round. He did get that rock, but he definitely got knocked down 2 times. And now for a third, he's
That's it, isn't it? That's got to be it. Oh, how is he surviving this?
He just manages to survive blocking 2 or 3 of those key shots that would have put him out. This is a great fight overall.
That was the wrong time to take a sip of water. Jesus, I almost choked right there.
As did I when I was drinking. I had to quickly swallow and get the words out at the same time. This is one fight you can't look away because they were just going at it right now.
Yeah, wouldn't expect anything different. That's why the Mike train is on the tracks, of course. Tabrik looking to live up to all the hype out of the LW camp this evening, trying to get it marching forward, getting that takedown, not able to do so. Mike Tran all over the takedown defense, doing his BSD campmates proud.
Yeah, he's definitely showing that the train is not getting derailed tonight. He's just overall showing some beautiful, crisp striking. And
that was a nice pullback counter. Sorry to interrupt you, but look at the head health of Gilbert Burns right now. These counters, the leg health, honestly, the all-round displacement of the, kind of where he is placing his shots is beautiful. Mike Tran is honestly picking his shots beautifully this evening.
Critically and surgically, he's very precise right now. He gets another rock, and this could be a possible drop down. But Tabarak showing that he just gets out. He has that great survival.
Oh!
And it might be over at this point.
That's got to be it. Yeah, Mike Tran, what a great job by him. He looked phenomenal this evening, just putting it all together with his striking. staying very defensive on the ground, but when he was able to get up, my God, did his hands get let go very quickly.
It was a very technical showcase brought on by Mike Tran. It's just a great performance. He showed a little bit of adversity in some of his primetime fights before, but he is on track all the way tonight.
Yeah, looking like he's back to his old troublesome ways with that surgical performance, as we alluded to a moment ago. Great job by him. No shame on his opponent. He came game as ever tonight. Tdrivers putting up a fantastic fight, but all down the stretch it was Mike Tran picking up a big W. Him and his campmates going to be very, very happy with himself marching back into the corner this evening. But yeah, no, great work all around, man. That though does march us on another step closer to our main card. We take a step into our prelims a little bit further. Going to be having LFC Scatter up against TP Mega Marshall. Do apologize, tongue-tied a little bit there. These guys both been around the scene a little while now. Obviously, we know how well respected all round I have for the LFC camp as a whole. They are very durable all round fighters, have excellent grappling, have the ability as well to really mix it in with some of the takedowns, the unorthodox striking. TP Mega Marshall, bit more of striking based, of course, coming out the technical pressure camp. They have beautiful striking, able to really make that cage feel small for you, Unreas, and cut off a lot of those angles.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those fights that almost leaves you speechless. It's a great night of fights tonight, and it's not even close to being over yet.
These guys not wasting any time. Instantly loading in Poirier up against Ferguson. Your favorite pick in this one, TP Marshall, looking like he has the advantage in terms of previous matchups, but as we've said time and time again, that does not make a lick of difference when the bright lights are upon you.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those fights you would love to see. It's Poirier versus Ferguson, and it's technical versus that dogged survivability and just overall broad range of strikes.
Oh, straight. Yeah, straight for the takedown, and really going to try to use the all-round versatility of his Ferguson pick. And we know that, like I said, the LFC boys, they have really, really dominant grappling abilities all around there. None of them are slouches on the ground. They really, really do put it all together down here, whether it be submissions or the ground and pound opportunities. Decides to back up, but not for long, using it to try and get that side control. Marshall not having any of it as he separates, now looking to get that center of the cage and land some shots of his own.
Yeah, as you said from Scatter, I have had the pleasure of sparring him a couple times, and it was not even close to being on my side of the fight.
Oh!
But he gets that huge leg rock, and he's getting forced up against the cage. Just the technical skill from Marshall is showing right now.
Yeah, the technical pressure, as alluded to by the camp's hallmark. What beautiful work he's doing right now, just landing these shots perfectly, taking the center of that cage, really making his presence known. Opponent needs to get something going quickly if he's going to get him out of this rhythm. All over it so far, though, on the feet is Poirier.
Yeah, I had the misfortune of running into a few of the technical pressure guys in OWC, and they made it a dogfight. And one fight I won, the second fight I lost, but this is a great fight to see overall. The technical striking is on display tonight.
Oh, lovely head kick. That was beautiful work from Scatter. Catches his opponent, trying to sidestep into it, now trying to get the clinch going, but obviously Marshall a little bit savvy to it and getting active with the hands, really starting to overwhelm him with the strikes that are coming at him. All angles are they being thrown. This is a little bit more of what Scatter needs, though, right? The more he can grapple, the better, but honestly, it just looks like Marshall's all over it.
He just needs to find a way to slow him down. Those strikes are coming in hot and heavy, and it's just a technical masterpiece coming from Marshall right now.
Yeah, on the feet, he looks very, very clean. I mean, I know that if Scatter gets him down, it's going to be a little bit problematic. Not a lot of time. Goes for the big upwards elbow into the spin and had massive success with it. a good way for him to close out the round, but still, though, honestly, I don't know if that's enough to get Marshall's, to get the round from Marshall. I believe he got a knockdown earlier in the round and overall probably landed the better of the strikes. I would love to see the stats in between if we could.
It's definitely, a confidence booster knowing he can find those shots when he throws them. But I do believe he would probably have the advantage on the ground, whereas Marshall is definitely having a huge advantage in the stand-up.
Going into the second round, doesn't look like we're going to get to see the stats in this one, but that's okay. That's okay. All action, all night. They touch him up. Looks like obviously the leg health advantage and the head health advantage is going to Marshall in this one. Looking a little bit of the cleaner of the fighters in this second round. Tries to take the back, not able to do so, showing that he's got grappling chops of his own, but not for too long. Straight back to those hands, one Reus.
Yeah, he gives a lot of different looks, and then when you're just thinking it's going to be something else, he just hits you with that clean strike. But Scatter does take him to the ground. Can he hold him there? No. He gets right back up, and Marshall is just putting on a clinic in the stand-up right now.
Goes to take his back. Savvy to it, stops it, goes with that hook again. Second time he's thrown it, second time he's landed. The elbow spin attempt once again from Scatter, not doing the same desired results as previous, but these guys making it a very, very dogged battle. 3 minutes left in the second, one race, all to play for there, brother.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a great fight to see as you see both of them struggling for dominance on the clinch. He finally gets him to the ground, but he did use a lot of stamina to get it. It's all in the question is, can he keep him there?
Back mount take, able to get him, flattens him out, or tries to, not able to on this attempt. Poirier, wise to it once again, gets the half guard position back, looking to work those little bunny shots to build the GA. Nothing to doing though on them. Scatter wisely passes over into top mount, now going for the arm triangle from mount. This is going to be a dangerous submission. Scatter's very, very dangerous all around in the submissions, maybe just looking to read it in the first one as he now goes for that go-go plata.
Yeah, Marshall showed some great, cognizant defense to that sub, but this one's a lot closer. But overall, I think he might just get out of it, but it's getting... Oh, he cancels it and gives him the full guard. Now, Ferguson in this aspect is really dangerous with that rubber guard transition.
Marshall, though, wise to it, and able to get the separation. The elbow's almost there for him again, though. 55 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for either man to land the finishing blow. Both guys attempting to do nice slip off straight for him right there. Knee to the body, overhand, trying to land some of these big shots.
It feels like right now Scatter's just going for those big shots on the feet because he knows he's being somewhat outclassed in the stand-up. Oh! As I say that, Caster's curse, and he hits him with a spinning elbow into an uppercut and drops him. He could close it out here.
No, that's the end of the round, not the end of the fight, my man. But it could very well have been with a couple of extra seconds for sure. Honestly, these guys not leaving any stone unturned in this bout. Trying to really, really take it to each other in all aspects of mixed martial arts. I think the maybe better of the two coming to Marshall, though, with the damage being landed as you see him start to pick his opponent apart at range right here, landing some really, really clean shots to the leg, head, and the body of Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, it's definitely a tale of two cities, whereas he has a stand-up advantage, but Scatter's landing those crazy, just out in the back shots and having some success with it as well.
Another takedown attempt successful for LFC. Scatter trying to get that crucifix attempt, but Marshall staying very wise to it. This man incredibly well versed in terms of the all-round aspects of mixed martial arts, showing it this evening, keeping his defense very tight on the ground. Obviously got 3 minutes 30 on the clock, one race, and Scatter doing so much work to make it as tough as he can. He gets the denial. This one's going to be really deep.
Yeah, it's definitely, but he lets it go. I don't know, because every time he seems to have that transition, it seems like he bails on it, trying to get that one perfect one. And this one's razor close as we see it right now.
Yeah, a lot of it there. Sorry to interrupt you, brother. A lot of it, though, is about that first 25% of it. So I think he was just trying to get a good start to the submission so that he can follow it through. After that first 25%, the rate starts to increase, and he's going to get it. The go-go from top mount. Scatter picking up a big W. Marshall's got to be a little bit sore after that one. He was having a clean performance. Gets submitted in the third round. Tony Ferguson Scatter showing that he is dangerous to the final buzzer.
Honestly, that was a huge comeback. He definitely showed a lot of adversity in the first 2 rounds. He was getting hit several times. He did come out with those crazy out-of-the-bag tricks with the elbows. And overall, a beautiful groundwork game from Scatter.
With that, we do move on to the next bout of the evening. Going to be having another LW member taking the center stage. LW Bucko up against Guinness. Guinness, I believe, is Proper Steve, previously known as Proper Steve, one of the S&B boys. Obviously, all round, I mean, Proper Steve is one of those guys, Guinness is one of those guys that can really, finish you at the last second of the last round, and has been known to do so in some of his past performances. Bucko, obviously, in his last outing, having excellent work with the hands. These guys not looking to waste any time this evening. They are straight here, matching off with each other. Bucko, Proper Steve, as they go.
Yeah, this is going to be an insane fight. I've seen many Proper Steve's fights. Bucko is also a game competitor. And now we're seeing somewhat of the same type of matchup as we saw before. But at the same time, it all depends on the player, because we see they're both being very technical. They're trying to measure each other right now.
Yeah, and Proper Steve, he is a guy that, honestly, he has some very, very flashy techniques, and he likes to utilize them throughout. But as he starts to get damaged, he starts to become more technical. It's a very, very odd style and approach, but he does so well with it that you cannot, you can't slouch it at all, or can't call it out at all. He does a great job of just really mixing it up and, making it a little bit unorthodox. Bucko is very respectful here, looking to work the outside. Hasn't exactly got the same sort of boxing advantages as a Conor McGregor. Maybe looking to utilize some of the grappling if this fight does, start to develop.
Proper Steve heavy on those kicks right now, but if you notice, he is taking a slight bit of the stamina disadvantage. He does negate that one, possibly, a trip takedown. He's landing pretty clean shots, but hit by a spinning kick to the head. Doubles up on the elbows, but no go on that one. He keeps trying to land that one kick, and he gets not knocked, but dropped by that.
Taking center stage once more, now trying to exchange right in the pocket of both opponents. Leg kicks are being exchanged also. Both guys not discriminating in terms of where they're going to place their shots. The spin elbow actually lands and did a good chunk of damage to Conor McGregor's health. You also see the stamina now becoming a little bit problematic, but that does not matter when the precision is so clean. Conor McGregor landing the bomb on the chin of Ortega and sending him to hell.
Yeah, definitely. Bucko looked really good in that, but he just missed that one kick, and it was the tail of the tape and the end of the knife for Bucko right there. Proper Steve showing beautiful composure, even when he was getting all that aggression in his face, and just lands that huge hook to end the night.
Great work, man. Absolutely beautiful work from Proper Steve. Didn't need to wait until the final second in this one. Able to get so in the first round. Great work. Absolutely beautiful performance. Very, very fun fight. Takes us straight on into the next one, my man. KM Noeta up against EK Harambe. Going to be a very fun fight. Both guys come from extremely well-respected camps, all-rounded camps at that. Both able to strike very, very well. Both able to, really utilize the ground game as well. They're one race. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of being able to see their fights before, or maybe even spar them in the past, but both guys incredibly dangerous.
Not sparring them, or I think I've only seen Noeta once, but I do know about those camps, and they are legends in the making. I've heard so much about them, and they are highly skilled fighters.
Well, this one's going to be in the welterweight division. Just going to have a little look on who these guys are picking as we speak now. They're just kind of loading in with each other at this point. But, yeah, no, it's, you know, always an interesting pick in welterweight. It's one of my favorite weight classes. Obviously has a wide variety of options and picks that you can go for, whether it be somebody that's a, you know, striker, grappler, somebody that can do it all. You have some, you know, specialist picks in that weight class as well. I imagine, oh shit, we're going to see Kamaru Usman up against Leon Edwards. That's what we're seeing. Good shit, this is a fun matchup. I do like this one. Noeta picking the Leon Edwards pick, a little bit more of a striker, potentially Ike Harambe going with Usman, maybe potentially a little bit more of the grappler. Both guys, I'm sure, are able to put it all together, but we're about to find out how they stack up right now.
Well, I would like to highlight that the Usman has really good jabs and straights and can set up a lot of combos. And Leon Edwards is just definitely overall a good striker on the feet. Not much on the ground, but you never know with these types of fights. Yeah,
the problem is when he gets put on his back, that's when he's going to have his most trouble. Noeta was looking fantastic on the feet early. His combinations were looking silky smooth, but Harambe not wasting any time with the takedown attempt. Already got his opponent on the mat with 4 minutes left in the very first round. This is going to be incredibly difficult for Noeta. He has to mind his P's and Q's because Harambe is going to be all over that body smash, trying to get his cardio down a little bit, making those later rounds just that little bit easier should they make it that far.
And he's landing those huge elbows. I don't think he wants to sit there and take him, but he's taking his time, and finally gets to that sprawl position when it was looking a little bit, you know, a little bit crazy right there.
Gets the single leg pull, pulls him straight across. Nice work. Now Leon Edwards is on top. Is he going to decide to separate? I think that may be the, you know, favored choice. This isn't too bad though. You can actually just try to get that body stamina back, get that a little bit more equalized. 2 step ups. He's going for the undeniable feints, trying to get him up a little bit on them. Goes for the side one, able to get it. Now on the back, and this is the problem when you don't get up instantly. Now finds himself in bottom half guard with Usman on top of him. Harambe looking to fire down some of those hammer fists, I'm sure.
Yeah, and he's already taken a lot of elbows from the ground, so you know he's definitely going to be the worst for wear in this department. He gets top mount, and he's slowly starting to work that Usman game and just picking you apart on the ground.
Nice work. Gets him down once again. He's doing a good job of staying composed. On bottom is Edwards, and he needs to be. Obviously, we know how dangerous Harambe is on the grappling exchange, especially with the Usman pick in his favor. The ground and pound stats going to go in that direction, you know, able to rain them down with maximum effect. But honestly, so far, the defensive capabilities of Edwards really shining through, able to minimize and mitigate a lot of the damage that's been coming his way on the ground. A minute left in this first one race. I'm not sure if they're going to go to this, you know, they're pretty much going to go into the second round, I would assume, at this stage now. But what would you do if you're the striker coming into the second round? If you are Noeta, how do you stop that takedown?
I would definitely try to time some leg kicks in the mix, and if you can see that takedown coming, try to throw a knee, because Leon Edwards has really good Muay Thai striking capabilities. He was, as you said, he was being composed on the ground, but I feel like he's being a bit too composed. He's not in a rush trying to get back to his feet, and that plays into Harambe's game, so he definitely needs to find a way to get out of that aspect. But as you see, he still had somewhat of the striking advantage on the grounds, even with the significant strikes. So it's all in all a very close match regardless.
Yeah, it is, and I think Noeta's going to go instantly back to being active on the feet. Already see him using that push jab, or the lunging jab, if you will, in order to try and get some respect, using those hit stuns to try and land some more strikes. Harambe not wasting any time with the slip hook, now into the clinch attempt, trying to get this back into his realm as early as possible. I mean, and this is the thing about the grappler, right, there, Wondrous. They can come at you, they can start to throw bombs, because as soon as you start to exchange back, they can shoot under for that takedown.
And they have no fear of getting taken to the ground, so it gives them a lot of confidence in the striking department as well.
That's how you get in their head right there, though. Oh, how did that miss? Jesus.
just a hair's breadth away. Honestly, if he had a beard, it would have honestly shaken his hairs.
You know, this is so far so good. Noeta maybe trying to change the tide now, utilizing that jab, attacking the leg really well. Harambe's doing a great job of getting into the, grappling exchanges, given any opportunity he can, but it looks like Noeta has warmed his fingers up, is all over the LT, working the body now as well, and honestly, the more he can do that, forcing these takedowns, it could all start to slide in his favor. Oh, great work!
Definitely showing great composure on the feet. Sorry for interrupting, but man, we're seeing a highlight and a showcase on the feet, and now he gets a ground takedown of his own.
Yeah, it's showing that he's got some grappling chops. He showed it from bottom. Now he's going to have to see what he's able to do from top, and maybe just trying to play a little bit of mental mind games with EK Harambe. Obviously, you've just got to be composed here, right? You can't put yourself in this position and then get reversed. So I think he's doing the right thing of just staying composed, looking to work these transitions when he can. But now his back gets taken backside with Usman, a minute 50 on the clock. This is terrible news.
Yeah, it's definitely not where he wants to be. He's stayed a little bit too much on the ground, and it's kind of gonna be Usman's game from here.
Doing a great job working the body now. And this is all Harambe's game. This is where he wanted to be. He does great with the ground and pound. He works the body intelligently. He decides to separate, but he was trying to jump back on. Maybe a little bit of a miscalculation. His opponent all over it. Instantly back to his feet, trying to answer back with some shots over the last 50 seconds of this second round.
Yeah, it's definitely not where he wants to be. Definitely where Leon Edwards wants to be in this aspect, just to stand up. But as you notice, he's being very tentative at times. He's not throwing as much as he would have liked originally.
Yeah,
but those body shots are slowly putting him working.
Oh! Usman's got power of his own. Respect it, or it will sit you down. These are the final shots, and that is all she wrote.
Oh. What a beautiful performance. He bided his time and landed those crisp counters and just put him down and out for the night.
What a fight back and forth, entertaining matchup. Knew it would have been from two well-respected camps and two well-respected fighters trying to make their name within the promotion. I think this is a great step to doing both for both guys. Neither stock has lost. Beautiful striking from Noeta. Excellent, adjustments made by EK Harambe to turn the tides in that fight and get the win against a very, very dangerous opponent. Let's be straight up. He came out and he looked fantastic on the feet, looked warmed up, and even the takedown defense started to come together for him later in the fight. Beautiful all-round performance there, one race from both guys. It does take us one step closer, though, this time to the PlayStation side of things. We're going to be having Atakan up against Purple Urkle. We know Purple Urkle, very, very fun style. Had some ups and downs within the promotion, looking to go up and up in this one. Obviously, Atakan also having a couple of favored performances within the promotion as well. Set for an action-packed bout in the Batanmweight division. They're already here. Peter Yan for Purple Urkle, showing a sign of respect up against his opponent. Also using Peter Yan, it would seem.
I've definitely not seen Purple Urkle on the Yan pick. I've seen him using different other picks, such as his calf, and several times, but this is definitely a mirror match, and possibly, all in the bag for, seems to be like the same type of strikes going in and out, but each other player has their own style, so it's lovely to see this.
Yeah, Purple Urkle's a guy that really, really is unorthodox. He throws such a variety of strikes and gets really wild with it. We see his opponent go, so far his opponent's going with more conventional boxing combinations, right? And I would normally favor that person to win, but as you saw a moment ago there, one Rios, that head kick was just millimeters away, and that's what makes him so dangerous.
Yeah, just like we saw in the last fight, that head kick came very close to trimming. And honestly, this is a great fight to see because Purple Urkle is landing those good body shots. And like you said, that unconventional style is making a little bit of a mix-up for Turkey right now.
Yeah, he's really, like I said, going to the body with it, going to the head. Turkey's being the more technical of the two, but just not having as an efficient land percentage as his opponent. Big miss right there, though, as he breaks forward with this combination. That's great work for his opponent, UFC Turkey.
Yes, definitely, he's landing the more precise shots, but it's so hard to measure your opponent when they're doing flashy strikes and unconventional strikes in anywhere.
Yeah, no, it can be hard to get a beat on them, right? Because their shots are coming from all sorts of angles. They're not firing their shots at normal ranges. So your normal reads are not applicable in those positions. Purple Urkle really taking advantage of that. You see him like, even like things like cutting off the center line. He doesn't like come straight at you off the center line, holding the center of the cage. He'll cut an angle, so he's kind of almost following you first, knowing that you can only retreat in one of two ways in that position. It's an educated game plan. I don't know if it's all 100%, decided, but it looks to be so. I mean, he mixes it up with, absolute intent.
Yeah, he's definitely toned down on the flashy, crazy, unconventional strikes. Now he's landing some good knees and strikes to the face, and Turkey's showing a little bit worse for wear, but he does land that beautiful hook right there.
The only thing that causes concern with Purple Urkle is when I see him trying to do like flying knees from really deep inside that pocket. His opponent has caught him once or twice. If he's able to get out a couple of bad habits like that, I think that this sort of style could be really problematic for a lot of people. Turkey's not out of this, though. Peter Yan's dangerous to the final buzzer as he still continues to try to stay composed, not trying to overextend on too much, but the health and the stamina disadvantages becoming very much apparent over the course of that first round there, Wanderers.
Especially, with Peter Yan having that force of nature perk is definitely something he needs to be concerned about in this case.
Show of respect from both guys at the end of the first round. We're going to go and see a second one. The absolute phenomenal pace being put on by both competitors. I don't imagine we're going to see a judge's scorecard in this one, but stranger things have been said. But I imagine we're going to see a touch of gloves. And straight back to this action. All striking down the stretch. Love to see it. A little bit of a stamina disadvantage to the blue corner, UFC Turkey. Obviously having the problems, but coming out cleanly, landing the shots at the beginning of the second. 15 seconds down, already sat his opponent and trying to get the finish. I mean, my God, that's the way you want to start out a second round there, Wanderers.
Especially like you said, Peter Yan is still dangerous to the belt, even with a quite prominent stamina disadvantage.
Going for the
beautiful spinning strike lands, and he tries to double up, but Turkey's a little bit wise to it.
Yeah, Atakan just Beyblades let them rip, right? He saw an opportunity, just went double spins, landed both on the block. You cannot be too mad. Look, like I said, he circles out, makes your opponent cut a little bit, so that they're already backing out before he decides to throw his shots. This great work, but now he's having some adversity. These are good work by Turkey. Honestly, man, this is a great round for him. He's landing so much damage on the chin of Purple Urkle, and this could start to become the turn of the tides. It's not going to take too many more when your head health is within the blinking range at all times.
I think, he lands that huge jumping kick to the head. He's definitely where he wants to be, especially with that huge stamina advantage. And like you mentioned from earlier, I would like to see Purple Urkle maybe shorten his strikes, get a little bit more crisp with it, especially using that stamina disadvantage at this point.
100%. There it is, the combinations once again landed for Turkey. Nice teep to the face. Landing that front kick beautifully. The spin kick is once again there for Purple Urkle, but the chin is compromised. Only a couple of shots need to be landed for Turkey to turn the tides of this fight and be the victor. Become the upset. Purple Urkle has pretty much been in control down the course, but that head health is now way too problematic. What a flying knee!
What a flying knee, and now he's backing him up against the cage. Beautiful body shots landed as well, but I would like to see more of a sense of urgency from Purple Urkle, knowing he has that huge stamina advantage to start, like I said before, shorten his shots and possibly go for the finish.
Strong defense there to block the shot.
Great work. Once again, the spin kick lands, rocks him, lands the body uppercut, cracks to the face on that one, continues to rein in the shots, trying to close out the show, but his opponent committed to hanging in for as long as they can, trying to survive and weather this early storm. I say early storm. Well, I mean, we're 10 minutes in.
Definitely needs to watch out, because as soon as that happens, he gets dropped himself, and this could be...
Turkey does it! Can you believe it? The underdog turns it around, one Rios. What a comeback.
What a comeback indeed. That huge stamina advantage was all in Purple Urkle's favor, but he stuck to those unconventional strikes and possibly opened up that small window of opportunity for Turkey to come back and close out the show.
Yeah, a weird and wonderful fight for sure. Both guys putting it all on the line and putting an entertaining bout together for us. You absolutely love to see it. Phenomenal fight all round. It does take us that one step closer, though. Now it takes us on to the next bout of the evening. We're going to be having another Xbox bout, the MoffatMan up against KM Intro. MoffatMan has come up to the scene in recent weeks or months and has been putting together a number of great performances. He's got a tough opponent against him tonight there, one Rios, with the Kingsman Intro. Intro, an incredible striker all round, got grappling chops to go with it. Haven't had the pleasure of striking him, but I've seen some clips on Twitter and looks silky smooth, if I do say so.
Oh, and like you said, Kingsman, this is basically just a teaser for me to see, and just a, I love to see it, because we're about to see some crazy Kingsman action in SEC as well. So this is just a great night of fights overall to see.
Matching up KM Intro coming in, like I say, lightweight division. I do believe didn't get to quite catch their picks a moment ago. McGregor Pettis. Oh shit, nice. I think Intro's probably Pettis if I was to take the guess at it. Yes, he is. KM Intro using Anthony Pettis. MoffatMan using his favorite Conor McGregor pick, trying to take that center of the stage, work the leg health of Anthony Pettis, chopping when he can.
Yeah, definitely you don't get to see Anthony Pettis often, but when you do, it is a sight to behold, because most of the time, if they're that confident with the Pettis pick, they're dangerous on the feet.
Sidestepping, trying to use a little bit of head movement, trying to maybe juke his opponent into throwing a shot. Good takedown attempt from Intro, though. Unorthodox, taking away some of that pop in Conor McGregor's hands in the early round, maybe trying to get that lactic acid building up in the MoffatMan's Conor McGregor, working that body. 3 minutes 40 on the clock, is able to stand up. I mean, that was a pretty easy stand up, yeah.
Beautiful breakaway, just lands right on the chin. But MoffatMan's just taking his time, just not exactly just plodding forward, but he's answering back with beautiful counter strikes as well.
Oh, nice work.
Beautiful counter from a possible strike to the face, but I do like what I see from KM Intro. He's being very patient. He's being just, overall committing to the game plan of just technical striking that we've seen all night from several great fights. He's not being too aggressive. He's only answering when he knows he will land. And beautiful body shot. And he rocks him and drops him with that. The body work from KM Intro is just obscene to behold right now. It's a beautiful sight, but it is disgusting to watch as well. MoffatMan's in a little bit of trouble as we speak. Beautiful rollout to avoid that, and it's just an amazing sight to behold. When you get to see Pettis, you're in for a show. Beautiful head kick as well. He's just putting on the pressure right now. What do you think MoffatMan needs to do, Cyrus, to get out of this predicament?
So far, he's just having some difficulty with those center shots. I mean, it sounds a little bit strange, but circling to that power side a little bit, just trying to take away any of the spin opportunities that Intro may try to put his way. But Conor McGregor has the advantage in terms of ripping the strikes. He just really has to try and land a nice, clean counter at this stage. The stamina deficit is going to be a little bit problematic against such a well-versed and seasoned striker like Intro. He's really going to start to utilize that well. He's not going to take it. This is a good option for him. I don't know how well it's going to play with only 20 seconds to go, but at least it scores a couple of points in the judges' scorecards and takes away the last little onslaught that was going to come his way from Intro. The recovery is really where it's all at, though, I think, Wanrias, in between these rounds. How does Conor McGregor look in this second round?
I do believe the second round he'll probably have just, a good amount of recovery to maybe make it a quarter of his bar, if not more. But seeing a Conor shooting for a takedown is always fun to see because it's not about the stats. It's always about the personal skill of the player. So if he continues to go to the ground, we might see something completely different. But the body work is still on the side of KM Intro, and he's taking his time being very technical with his striking.
Truly is, brother, truly is. He's very, very technically picking his opponent apart right now. Taking the center stage, kicking him in the head. Flying knee attempt, not able to get it instantly. Going to the body with the uppercut. Just a well, diverse, kind of really scattergunning his opponent with strikes. Just overloading him with combinations, angles. It's really, really difficult for MoffatMan right now. He's not doing a massive amount of things wrong. He's trying to circle when he can. Just seems to be a little bit of a step behind. It's easy to sit here and say we need to do this or that, but when you're up against an opponent like this who is really, really in the zone, like the Neo in the Matrix, just dodging shots, landing when he needs to, it can be a real tough time.
Yeah, and as you highlighted, it's just a rough time, especially that with that body work coming into play. It opens up a lot of shots, possibly kicks to the legs or to the head because he's so worried. Held.
You see the beautiful head rock into the body rock, then the head kick. This is beautiful work by Intro. Absolutely putting it all together over the stretch. We've seen an absolutely beautiful 7 minutes so far. Potential another 7.5 to go. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful work, and it's becoming almost tough to watch. McGregor is having all sorts of problems.
And this is honestly probably some of the most dangerous pedis work I have ever seen in UFC 4 leagues. You don't always see the pedis pick, like I say, and against a Conor McGregor for that level of control and damage to the body and head it's a sight to behold.
It really, really is. And oh my god, man, this is so problematic. Flying knee sits him down, and once again it looks like MoffatMan may even survive this one. How is he doing this?
I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine, but that head health is dangerously low. And honestly, this reversal might just save him for now.
My god, my god.
What a night of fights. Every fight has been cliffhanging, and every fight we've seen so many different looks. It's honestly, I'm speechless right now because you do not see this level of fighting anywhere half the time, especially with this top level of competition.
Postures up from the half guard, does decide to separate. Honestly, when it's on his feet, it's just all Intro, man. Once again, this is so problematic. If this goes into the third round, this is abuse at this stage. Quite honestly, if I'm Conor McGregor's corner, I'm chucking in the towel. It's a tough one. Look, I can't say that Conor McGregor's out of this one, but he's almost out of this one. As about out as you can get. He needs something as clean, infinitely clean. Sits him down with that Conor McGregor power, but all the health advantages that are going Intro's way, the stamina advantage, it's been an almost flawless performance.
Like you said, you wouldn't necessarily close the door on Conor McGregor, but it all adds up, and he does get that beautiful hook and kind of makes him, think a little bit, but overall, just the dominance in the stand-up is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, look, if he's able to get a rock early in this third round, and he's got enough stamina to where he can put him out with it. but it needs to be like now. And the problem is he can't rush it. Intro's just not giving anything away. He continues to go to the bank over and over again, making sure Conor McGregor's stamina and overall health situation becomes increasingly worse as the seconds tick down. It's just a beautiful performance, and again with the feint into the head kick.
Yeah, and all that body work set that one up. As I said before, he's so conscious of his body health. He can't just block everywhere at once, and it slowly just a long grind into just pain of the possibility that Pettis KM intro might close it out. And
I mean, my God, this is savagery. I just don't understand how the chin of McGregor is holding up. Intro's landing everything right now. The defense is on point. Every shot lands just with brutal intentions.
And the problem is with those knees highlighted right there, he doesn't know if he has to block to the body or the head because both of them are dangerously low, and he gets rocked again to the body. And there's only so much he can do to survive right now.
They're dead in the water. This is fishing with TNT. He has got to be out on that one. Anthony Pettis getting the W. Intro putting on as clean as a performance as you could possibly put on. I mean, no shame, man. MoffatMan, this night wasn't your night. We've seen you put on absolutely killer performances in the past, but my God, did KM Intro come in here cracked out of his mind this evening, putting on one hell of a show. My God.
Best body work I've seen in a long time. It was just at that point when your body is so dangerously low, it opens up all avenues, and he had every single answer for every single question that Conor McGregor answered back with.
Absolutely beautiful work. Now this does take us on to our prelim, to our featured prelim bout of the evening. We're going to be heading back across the PlayStation for this one. KIA Cartz is going to be taking on Magical Cloud, the man of the quickest knockout I think in primetime history. That man came out there and in his first debut performance was able to get the job done in just under I think 17 seconds or 20 seconds, something down those lines. Incredible performance. Up and down since then, 1 or 2 losses, but Cartz much the same. He's had a very great start with the promotion. 1 or 2 losses, bouncing back, getting a couple of good wins himself. Interesting to see how these guys stack up. It's always a fun matchup, as we've said already in the welterweight match weight class there, One Rios. Lots and lots of picks for both guys.
Yeah, it's definitely overall such a great card already. It's hard to think we're only at the featured prelim. It's just been such a great night of fights already. I'm excited. I'm very excited to even see the main card right now. But Magical Cloud comes out with the Ferguson pick. And like I said, Ferguson is in such a great spot right now in the meta. He's so very well-rounded, whereas it be on the ground or on the feet. He is just very capable in all aspects.
That he definitely is. He's got a leg health disadvantage, so I would like to see Carter go to the leg maybe often and early in this opening round. Obviously we've got the power of Edwards as well. He's really got to sit down on these shots, make sure that Tony Ferguson feels these shots. He's not a natural welterweight, so coming up to the welterweight division, maybe the power a little bit higher. I don't know if he's as on meta in this weight class. Maybe you can answer that one for me, One Russ, but definitely a bit more of a lightweight pick, right?
Yeah, he's definitely more of a lightweight pick, but you can't exactly just count him out. I've used him in welterweight as well. His power disadvantage is present in the welterweight side, but he has great cardio and great just health overhaul, so he can definitely make it work. But I do not think he wants to be underneath Leon Edwards at this point, with Leon Edwards taking back or possibly just fainting, trying to draw something out.
Yeah, definitely, just on your point, nothing more durable than Tony Ferguson. Elka Kui can go for days, so he is not going to be out of the fight at any stage. But this is good educated work from Edwards so far. Interesting to see him going into the grappling exchanges, but Carter obviously very, very comfortable on the ground. Feels that he has an advantage here, potentially. I wonder if he's going to continue to play this game as we see him get pushed a little bit further back towards Tony Ferguson's guard.
Definitely, I would like to see him maintain this half guard or possibly top mount, or as he does roll into that dominant position. But he needs to, like you said, avoid the full guard, because the rubber guard can immediately transition Tony Ferguson into top mount or anyways in control. So he needs to just keep that game plan and avoid getting swept right here. He does break out. That's definitely, just great awareness on the ground.
Shout out to Tdrivers in the chat. Ferguson is a very underrated pick in welterweight, in my opinion. I believe you, brother. You'd probably kick my ass, so I believe it. I've seen many people pick him in the welterweight division. Like I say, very, very durable overall. I don't know about the power stats. I'm not the stats guy, unfortunately. But, yeah, no, he's a great pick. Having all sorts of adversity in the opening round, it does appear to have been Carter all down the course of it. Interesting to see how these guys will adjust and make, slight kind of changes to their game plan going into the second round, if any at all there.
Yeah, I did have the recent occurrence where I did pick Ferguson in welterweight. He has an 89 power and 92 speed, so it's definitely not completely, shut out. He still has the possibility of landing some decent strikes, but with Ferguson, it would have to be volume as well as where you land for it to count.
No touch of gloves in the second round. Instantly back at the action. Magical Cloud trying to get active, working the body and the head health. Carter taking a little bit more of a, I was going to say measured approach, but misses a couple of big shots. Definitely has to be careful. Looks like Magical Cloud has got the combinations on cue, ready to fire them in your face should you step across that line.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's not out of the woods yet. He's definitely showing composure and landing some decent counter strikes, showing the wherewithal to move his head to avoid those blistering strikes from Leon Edwards. I would like to see him possibly take him to the ground and, work on his stamina just a little bit, but definitely not throw those kicks where they're whiffed like that, because he is definitely getting the pressure put on him right now.
Yeah, big shots are landing, honestly for both guys, but the bigger of the shots definitely landing for Carter. You see the more quite clear animation difference in when Leon Edwards lands. Every time he lands on Tony Ferguson's head, it's like a bit of a Pez dispenser, man. It kind of cocks back a little bit. You see it, a bit of sweat fly off his brow. Tony Ferguson trying to get some good shots in of his own, as he does right there, straight into the body kick.
Ooh, that was very close when he went duck down and covered his head and that knee went flying up. Honestly, I've been in those situations where my head health was too low, and usually that ends with a rock or a possible knockdown, but he definitely is showing some great head movement in this fight.
Firing off good shots, now attacking the body once again. Stepping off on the range, planting on the straight. Good work. Edwards trying to answer back, but a couple of head movements misses major shots and allows Magical Cloud to pour forward with some pressure.
Yeah, Magical Cloud is showing some great composure. As we say this, he's just landing some clean shots, but he is overall being backed up by Leon Edwards, and now he gets taken down, and Cartz is showing some great movement on the ground, just able to avoid that rubber guard transition and sweep. He's just allowing him to basically just stay on the top and just work his ground and pound, just scoring points at this point. He's definitely not trying to overextend for the finish, and that's what's helping him in this fight.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Just taking a very calm, calculated approach, not trying to rush the finish, letting the finish come to him is really starting to go in his favor, stacking, the seconds up. He's had some of the better striking, I think, as well. I would be interested to see the statistics, of course, on it. Going into this third round, though, I do think that the recovery is going to go massively in Magical Cloud's favour and may allow him to put together a massive flurry to try and close out this fight. That's definitely going to be your game plan if you're Tony Ferguson going into the third, or at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely still a competitive fight back and forth. Magical Cloud showing some great head movement to avoid those big strikes. But I do believe Cartz is kind of, you know, in the driver's seat right now. He's definitely showing heavier strikes landing. He's definitely showing a little bit more volume land as well, and great ground control when it goes down to it.
Once again, jockeying for range. Be interested to know what you are scoring this as in the chat. If you've been scoring it, let us know what you've got it as going into this third round. 4 minutes on the clock. Flying knee attempt from Leon Edwards. Nothing to do in. Looked like Tony Ferguson partially blocked it at least.
Yeah, it's definitely Magical Cloud. You can't count him out at this point.
Oh!
So,
Edwards trying to get the finish, but the defense is still on point for Magical Cloud. It doesn't really matter if he's got rocked. This man holds his composure very, very well. This third round now definitely going into Carter's favor. He's going to be feeling very confident as the round goes in, but this submission attempt is on for Tony Ferguson. The escape looks imminent on this one. Just knowing that it's there, though, got to cause a little bit of concern. Got to be wary of it going forward, especially if you get your stamina down at any point.
yeah, there's a little bit of a caster's curse for me. As I said that he gets dropped, but he's still showing some great defensive work on the ground. He's not panicking at all. He's just trying to find that window of opportunity and avoid the strikes coming down from the top.
Straight over into side control. 2 minutes left to work. Carter feeling like he's in control of this one, not looking to make any mistakes, working those bunny shots to the body, building up the grapple advantage in any which way he can. Magical Cloud on the reverse of things, trying to do much of the same, staying calm, staying composed. Needs to show a little bit of urgency, in my opinion, in this third round, though. Has to get himself back to the feet or get that submission.
Yeah, it's definitely some great work from Cartz on the ground right now. He does get up, narrowly avoids that head kick.
Nice shot landing for him, trying to go to the body on it. Carter fading that uppercut, showing you go to that body again. It's going to be there. Now the shots when he's rocked, ragdolls him to the ground. This may be it with the follow-up shots. No. Oh, how does he do it?
It's that Ferguson chin. It's just overall so strong in these aspects.
Oh.
He does go. Oh, man.
Can't hold up that time there, Wanderers. Can't hold up that time.
He narrowly avoided the finish early on, but just the combined strikes from the feet and the ground just took him all out. And, oh, it just hurts to see because I've seen Magical Cloud's fights, and he is a game competitor, but it just hurts to see when you get in that predicament where you're just this close to surviving it, and then you get put out like that.
God damn. That was a great fight all round. Carter put it all together. You know, he was having some tough times right there, and you know, in certain moments, maybe not, he's saying in the chat, not his best performance, but he's got to be feeling happy with himself at least. If you're not best performance means that you walk away with a W, that's still a big win, my man. So with that being said, though, we move on to our main card. That was a great way to start end out the prelims. Just to have a little bit of a look ahead there, Wanderers, we're going to be having Showtime Satch up next against TP Great Mist. We're going to be having BSD Tdrivers, Fadanator, SandMan, Pirate Kip from the Kingsman signing. Obviously got the Josh Raee up against Cryptic Optics on PlayStation. Dale Denton up against Warbzy. Both guys undefeated, I believe, at the moment. Dirty Dave SpaceBoi, Slick Cult Zombies, and Styles v Khamzat. So much action to go there, Wanderers. Any particular fights that stand out to yourself there, my man?
Yeah, it's overall, it's just I'm excited for every single fight on this card. I mean, no matter what, they're just bangers. but definitely I want to see Satchmo Life versus. Oh no, sorry, I didn't. Yeah, is that
Satch, Life?
Showtime?
Yeah, Showtime
Okay.
Satch, that's right, brother. Yeah, Showtime Satch up against TP Great Mist. So that's actually, you don't have a lot of time to wait if that's the fight you're looking for. That one's up next, Showtime Satch up against TP Great Mist. Obviously, Showtime Satch, an interesting character that's been putting on phenomenal performances within the promotion, taking his step into the cage this time round up against the ever dangerous technical pressure signing of Great Mist. I mean, this man has bombs in his hands. He's a nightmare for anybody on the feet. Previously a grappler in a past life as well there, Onrius. So don't sleep on this man on the ground either. So all the hallmarks of a very, very fun fight. I can see why you'd be interested in looking at this one, my man.
Yeah, I mean, overall, as I see the main card overall, it's just amazing fights. We got Styles versus Zombie. That's going to be a great one as well. It's just a whole great night right here because it's just, you don't always get to see such a stacked card.
Yes, sir. Trying to live up, make your Saturdays, set up the card that we've got a little bit later on this evening, of course. But no, Poirier right now taking a step out against TP's Great Mist. That's going to be the Eddie Alvarez. I don't even need to see the pick. You know that that's going to be his pick in lightweight. Great Mist, absolutely renowned for that. Perfectly picks his, suits his play style. They started out active and early. Satchmo Life trying to land some bombs on the inside. Great Mist. You know he's not taking any back steps. Trying to use that head movement, landing those big shots.
He does miss that one shot, and the Poirier pick lands that nice little body shot, but he pays for it right there, and he's just getting backed up against the fence. Just damage unloading on him right now.
Great work landing on the inside. Satchmo not out of this, but pull counter for Great Mist, setting his web of tricks, able to get them on display this evening, working this clinch beautifully as he hip tosses into the takedown.
Yeah, it's honestly a great showcase. I mean, Eddie Alvarez is great on the stand-up, great on the ground. He's a very versatile character, just as Great Mist is very well balanced himself.
Half guard, great work. Posture's up. Now raining down the ground and pound. I mean, Great Mist is just such a savage in all regards on this gamer, man. Really looks to do maximum damage at all times and does so in such an educated fashion.
Yeah, it's definitely something you don't usually see. It's Eddie Alvarez versus Poirier. You don't always get to see those types of matchups because there's confined to the meta. People have their comfort picks trying to win those fights. So it's definitely fun to see Eddie Alvarez back in it again in the octagon.
Oh, once again, the combinations. Great Mist, he's just got a rhythm and a pattern to it where it's ever-changing and always seems to do maximum damage. He just has such a knack in the pocket of landing these bombs. Once again, marching forward, body uppercuts, lead hooks, all landing on the button.
Yeah, he's just applying that pressure, just forcing him back up against the cage. Nice head kick, kind of rocks his head back, but that head health is blinking already, and Great Mist is just capitalizing on each strike and just throwing good body knees, throwing hooks and kicks. He does get that one caught, tries to go for the spinning elbow, just narrowly misses it on the block.
Big body kick. Great knee to the body as well.
Oh, he's digging into that body right now, Cyrus. He's really working it to his own game plan. He's, like you said, he's not taking a step back. Hands a huge
Oh my god. Great Mist sends him to hell with the head kick.
What a kick combination. He throws that hook, rocks him, and then drops him with a head kick, and it's out. He's out for the night. He's tucked into bed, and it's completely over for Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, I think this is Great Mist's first outing for TP, and my god did he look on point. He came out and just absolutely blasted through his opponent. it's one of those ones, great miss. He lives or dies by that sort of game plan, and tonight he lived by it and prospered beautifully. Great performance, great fight. Excellent way to start out the main card of tonight's fights. Cannot wait for the next one. We're going to be seeing BSD Tdrivers up against Fadanator. Fadanator, previous title contender. BSD Drivers, obviously up and coming contender. Very, very interesting matchup from a fan favorite, and you know, an interesting background with the camp as well. Of course, BSD, a very, very top rated camp. I believe Fadanator, if I'm not wrong, is TD. If I'm not incorrect, TD Fadanator.
Yes, I think so. If it's been a while since I've seen Fadanator fight, so I don't know if he's still in there. He might, you know, have moved off to his own. But I believe he was in TD. I'm not sure if he still is, but
right. Well, no time wasted. Stephen Thompson for Fadanator, Leon Edwards for Tdrivers. Very fun matchup, welterweight division. No time's going to be wasted. These guys are going to get straight to it. I imagine with their picks, you may see a little bit more of a reserved opening to this first round. Well, these guys appear to have been on 5 rounds. Let's hope that they get a finish within 3.
As always, there is that moment. They do seem like they're starting off fast, so maybe one of them realized a mistake, or both of them, so they have a gentleman's agreement of trying to finish it in 3 rounds. And I don't think we're gonna see a grappling Stephen Thompson this time. That was a crazy night. That when I saw that, it was a little bit weird. But man, they are starting off fast. They are starting off in a fury as well.
Yeah, they're going to need to, my man. Got 3 rounds scheduled, can't let it go to the 4th. Instantly landing bombs on the inside, and this sort of technique I actually feel favors Edwards, although Thompson does seem to be getting the slightly better of these exchanges over the course, up until right there.
Yeah, Stephen Thompson his chin is questionable at best, and Leon Edwards is a heavy-handed striker. So in this matchup, I feel like it should favor Leon Edwards, but we've seen crazier things happen.
Double jab from Tdrivers. Trying to work it, trying to keep him at a little bit of a bay with that jab, but so far so good. Fadanator just bouncing through it, using that blitz ability of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson to try and get in and out of that range.
Yeah, it's beautiful spinning body kick. Throws him backwards just a little bit, but he does need to watch out every time he throws those kicks. It seems like Fadanator is getting caught to the head, and that head health is very low at times. Oh, he's taking a lot of body shots right now. This is definitely not going to work well with Stephen Thompson's stamina. It's definitely going to be harder and harder to throw those kicks that Stephen Thompson is well known for.
Yeah, and he's been going to those kicks a lot as well. So as Tdrivers continues to work on them, we see a little bits of stutter steps, just very, very subtle work from Leon Edwards. Tdrivers doing beautiful work so far. This is up against a very, very tough opponent in Fadanator. So if he gets a win tonight, that's a huge statement and big feather in his cap. He looks like he may be on course to doing so, staying calm and composed. Fadanator not out of this fight yet, landing that beautiful body kick, trying to get something going, but just back and forth action over the opening 5 minutes of this round.
Oh, beautiful front kick to the face, followed by the punch. And as you can see, it seems like Fadanator has the slight bit of stamina advantage, but overall, Tdrivers is having a lot of the damage just basically put on Fadanator, so it's definitely, he has it. It's hard to say who has the advantage at this point.
I would have to see the statistics in between round of where they would be scored wise. I mean, quite honestly, if I was to be judging it, I think that I would be leaning slightly towards Leon Edwards, but I could be wrong. I feel like he just landed some of the better power shots, was a little bit more high percentage wise in terms of the land rate. Both guys being very, very active though in the opening going. Starting out the second round, all to play for. Gets him kicked down. Up kick, a dome keeps him in the fight. I love that double jab body straight.
Yeah, because it's so rapid, you can't honestly, when you get the double jab, they're conscious that you're probably gonna go follow it up with maybe a hook, and boom, there you go. You get hit to the body, and then you have to worry about the other way around. Lands a beautiful front kick, giving Stephen Thompson a taste of his own medicine. And man, they're just going at it. They are not wasting any time right now.
No, you love to see it. Definitely being very, very active, trying to get that finish at all costs. Another double jab body straight. Fadanator answering back with a combination of his own, but it doesn't seem to dissuade Tdrivers. Not one little bit. This man is marching forward, sticking and holding his ground, landing the shots in any which way he can. And so far, honestly, maybe getting the slightly better of the exchanges. Just a very slight.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those fights you really can't call because it's so close when they're striking. You know, The Rock before, I think it wasn't a knockdown. Oh, here
that one's a knockdown. Sits him down, following up. That's it. That's it right there. Tdrivers picking up. Tdrivers picking up a big W over a very, very tough opponent in Fadanator. My God, he's got to be very, very happy with that performance there, Wanderers.
Yeah, it was definitely a stellar performance from start to finish. He landed a lot of the bigger strikes, the stronger strikes, worked his opponent's stamina, and finally caught that one knockout blow for the win and just finished it from there. Just a wonderful performance by Tdrivers.
See these follow-up shots now, which were really, really just kind of not really part of it, to be honest with you. We're almost not needed. The knockdown was just absolutely savage. You saw his head just almost go 360 Exorcist, but excellent work, excellent finish. Takes us one step closer once again to the main event. But like we said a little bit earlier on, my brother, we've got so many fun fights stacked up against. Up next, we're going to be having SandMan up against KM Pirate Kip. I believe that's AJS SandMan, if memory serves me, up against KM Pirate Kip. Very, very fun matchup. Both guys are incredibly dangerous from all accounts. I've seen that, of course, SandMan has a very, very tough grappling, has some good hands as well. If you don't know who Pirate Kip is, you're about to find out. The man's a, all-round trouble. New signing of the KM camp, and is looking to really, really put, a stamp on it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Pirate Kip fight in the past. He is a dangerous striker, shows you a lot of moves. He's quite capable on the ground as well. And SandMan, he's not one to, frown on either. He's a very great, well-balanced fighter as well. So it's going to be a firework fight.
Let's go fight.
Touch of gloves, straight back to it.
The Vettori mirror match, I never could really figure out Vittori's game style. I never could figure out how he works. But man, if anybody can do it, it's these two.
Got to mix it all together, box to wrestle sort of style combinations. Work your body. Really, really just got to have a, tough approach to the fight. Just make it a tough and dogged fight. Both guys trying to do so already. You see them both not being discriminatory in where they're throwing their strikes, body and head. Now trying that takedown attempt is SandMan, but misses on that one. I'm interested in the Pirate Kip going Marvin Vettori. I didn't think that would be his favorite pick in this weight class, but he's got something in store, I'm sure, as he lands another beautiful combination on the inside.
Well, like you said, it's got to be a balanced approach when you pick this fighter, and I have seen Pirate Kip go to the ground on many occasions, so maybe he was just going for a slight balanced approach to maybe throw his opponent off a bit. He does get that full guard sweep, and he's right now in top mount, and full guard, and let's see what he does with it.
Couple of body shots, slips across into the half guard. We'll have to see. Nice denial. Pirate Kip, like I said, all-round threat. He has great striking. I've seen him use Conor McGregor multiple times, but has very, very dangerous grappling, as you're seeing right here. His denials are on point, able to shut down your bottom positions quite a lot of the time. Great work from SandMan to get back to half guard. Not out of the woods yet, though, one race, as we've said multiple times. Lots and lots of time to work, but... Oh!
That was a beautiful counter reversal. It's just right into back so fast. I honestly, when you see this type of skill, it's almost like they're magical denials, magical transitions. It's just so fast and just a great thing to watch. And he gets reversed again. It's basically just over and over. They're reversing each other, both landing some decent strikes on the ground, but both having similar success. So it's a very hard fight to call right now.
Yeah, I honestly think I'm going Pirate Kip so far. They have reversed each other. The overall top control has, I think, going in Pirate Kip's favor over the course of it, and the damage outputting. Obviously, all to play for. You've got to imagine the staminas are looking pretty good. You can see the defending half, at least from my perspective, with SandMan doing okay on the stamina side of things. So he's going to recover really well in between rounds, able to mitigate a lot of that stamina drain and damage that Pirate Kip was able, trying to output over the course of that first 5 minutes or so. However, I do think Pirate Kip may be taking that first round. We'll have to see. Still 2 more potential on the clock there, Wondrous, and lots of time to get their hands or their grappling going.
Oh, for sure. And as you see the replays, it looks like you're just about right. But both men have a very well just thought out approach. It's like watching a chess game on the ground. Both are thinking a couple steps ahead of their opponent. It's just very, very much equal somewhat on the ground. Like you said, it might have the top control in Pyrite Kip's favor, but it's somewhat hard to tell because both have had their moments throughout the first round. Oh, beautiful rock into those 2 body uppercuts is not looking good for Sam. And he did have some success with that uppercut, but now he's just getting driven into the cage, and it's looking pretty bad for him right now.
Yeah, Pirate Kip is a guy who's going to chip away at you, chip away at you, chip away at you, and then all of a sudden, the floodgates are opened, and he starts to let go with some hellacious combinations. And right now, he's still chipping. He knows his opponent's still game, but he's turning up the pace incrementally over the course of this fight. He's got to be careful. SandMan's a dangerous opponent, and he's going to be looking to land some clean shots of his own, but so far so good from Pirate Kip as he continues to just use an educated boxing range. Moving out of range, you see it tagging up to the body. Oh!
Beautiful slip uppercut knocks him down. It might be over. He just barely survives. What a great counter by Pirate Kip.
Yeah, I don't know how he survived that one right there, but he does just about the chin of Marvin Vettori holding up on that one. 2 minutes 35 on the clock. Pirate Kip now in top control, decides to separate and try to utilize that boxing success he was having moments ago.
I mean, overall, like you said, he's been having the advantage on the ground and on the feet. And SandMan's starting to look for, possibly try to take him to the ground to negate some of that damage, but it's just not looking like he has his timing down. He does get that very good turning takedown, though.
Stops the top mount. See what he's able to get going from here. Another denial, not able to get the crucifix. Pirate Kip able to defend that. 1 minute 30 on the clock. Tries to go for the crucifix again and is able to get it this time. Wondrous, lots of time to work. But the arm trap instantly available for the educated Pirate Kip.
He tries to double up on it, but Pirate Kip narrowly avoids that with a denial. And he's just content with just chipping away, like you said. He doesn't feel like he's in any danger on the ground right now. He's willing to put up a few shots just to take a few. And he gets that stunning reversal as his opponent tries to go for the naked side control transition.
Nice little short shots to the head. Cautious up once again. Tries to land some straight shots, but only short combinations. Doesn't want to get reversed even in this closing stages. Wants to end this round on top. Working the body as he does. We're going to get to see the scorecards very briefly. Seems to be Pirate Kip all down the stretch. SandMan having a world of problems in the early round or two. Has 1 round left to go. Wondrous. Can he get the job done?
It's starting to look grim for SandMan. You know, especially when you try to go for that front kick and just narrowly avoids it. It's such a huge counter window, and he's looking like he does not want to just engage in the stand-up right now. He's trying to find his shots, but they are not present, and every window of opportunity closes so fast for him.
Yeah, he's trying what he can, working the body, working the head. Pull back counter once again seems to be the hallmark of Pirate Kip.
He's hurt to the body, hurt to the head. There's nothing he can do. He's just trying to weather the storm and find his shot. But it is just all Pyrite Kip right now. The pressure is just surmountable, and he's just taking so much damage right now.
You see every time his opponent goes for the clinch, he fires the straight. He just honestly is trying to counter everything with the absolute most perfect one. The pullback counter so closely, almost there for him once again. Right now we see SandMan circling off, trying to get some sort of counter going, having a world of trouble. Big flying knee missed somehow, able to stop the takedown defense.
He was rocked in that moment, though. That was just very well educated by SandMan just to take that. Just to take that takedown away, but it's still not going to help as he's just taking so much damage. He went prone, and Pirate Kip knew he could finish the fight right there, but he wants to finish him on the feet. Maybe it's, you know, maybe it's he's got something to show, something to prove, maybe a message to all of them out there. He does knock him down again. He lets him back up, and he's just putting on a clinic in the stand-up right now.
Yeah, not risking anything, taking, you know, a very workman's-like approach to this bout and landing everything with absolute perfection. Honestly, just on the button each and every time. Now taking the opportunity to get the full mount, choosing his shots. You know, once again separating, like you say, he wants to finish on the feet, and he gets it! Single lead upper is all he needed.
The uppercuts were the tail of the tape early on. Both men landed them, but Pyrite Kip had the advantage from the first round, like you said, and it just snowballed from there. I mean, not to take anything from SandMan, he's a game competitor, but Pyrite Kip is on a whole nother level. There are levels of skill to this game, and Pyrite Kip showed us all that he is one of the biggest competitors out there.
Yeah, no, great performance by that man. Great performance. He put it all together. Sorry, no, I got Tadpole out of the chat. The Serious Goats, TSG. Just trying to get clarification on who he means. Maybe somebody has recently changed camps. I don't quite understand what he means. Maybe Pirate Kip, I'm not sure. He still had the Kingsman emblem from what I saw, but great performance by that man. Nevertheless, takes us on to the next bout. We're going to be moving back across to the PlayStation side of things there, Wanderers, with Josh Raee, undefeated up-and-coming prospect up against Cryptic Optics, 4-2 within the promotion. These guys have very, very interesting futures ahead of them within PrimeTime if they continue to put on promotions like they have been. Right now, though, they have each other stepping, you know, across from the cage. Both guys going to be looking to come out of this with a win, but in an emphatic fashion. I'm sure they're at very, very pivotal stages of the rankings, you know, with these sorts of performances right now, with their, you know, win losses, etc. 1 or 2 wins away from a championship spot, you would imagine. Wanderers, you know, 3-4-0 at this stage. Stepping off into Bantamweight, we see Munoz up against Rob Font. We're not going to waste any time, straight into it.
This is a really good matchup, honestly. With Rob Font, you have that constant pressure, and Pedro Munoz with that granite chin. Honestly, it's one of those times, it's like both of them, we have to see who cracks first. And overall, they're already starting fast, and just beautiful body shots landed already.
Instantly going down to the ground. Munoz has got great grappling.
Yeah, Rob Font is no slouch on the ground, though. He does have some good stats off his back. It favors Munoz in the top position, but we can't count somebody like Rob Font out, especially in the hands of... Sorry, I didn't see the name, Josh Raee.
Josh Raee is honestly an up-and-coming talent. He's somebody I have my eyes on in terms of a future prospect for that title contendership, just because he's been so clean in their performances.
And I've seen Cryptics in another league as I was commentating for that one as well when nobody could be found. And Cryptics is no slouch as well. He's got great bottom ground game defense, and he is well known for some of his submissions. I think he's just feeling him out right here, trying to figure out his opponent's tendencies. He definitely wasn't close to getting a submission of the sword. I just think he wanted to give his opponent something to think about, something to worry about in the long term.
Short shots continue to add up, posture up. Now Josh Raee once again showing to be very, very dangerous on the feet, but also showing that he has all of the chops to hang on the ground as well, blocking a lot of transitions, racking up some of the top control time. Able to get back to full guard is Munoz, though he does have a rubber guard from this position, I do believe.
Yes, he does, and it is a possibility that, Josh Raee is already aware of this. That's why he's picking his shots, picking times to posture up, maybe interrupt the chance for him to maybe think about the rubber guard. So it's definitely, he is fully aware of how dangerous Munoz can be off his back. He's just slowly chipping away at his health.
Continuing, yeah, like you say, just making those little chipping attacks at the body. And this is the thing now, if you're such a, really, really good striker, like somebody like Josh Raee, like somebody like Cryptic, for Josh Raee to take away that first round now with the top control that he's had in the first round, just puts him in a great position going into the second round where potentially he can test out on the feet, or if worst comes to worst, he knows that he can potentially try to replicate this going into one of those later rounds.
And it's somewhat demoralizing on your opponent when they're in this situation because they know they're not going to win this round, so they feel like they have to pump up the aggressiveness or, put a different speed in the work, so it does leave them vulnerable to possibilities, something, a one-timely slip or just anything overall.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. I mean, when you start to fall behind in the fight, sometimes when you get tagged, you instantly try to go back and get it instantly back, and sometimes that can be the thing that walks you straight onto the finish. Because you think that you're trying to get it back, but in reality, all you're doing is marching on to more shots when you're compromised. So both guys, I don't think, though, they both seem very educated. You see them starting out with full stamina, talking about how well Josh Raee did in that first round. Cryptic did excellently to stay defensive, not waste any stamina or any real damage being put out on him. Both guys on the feet now, starting very quickly, landing combinations on the inside.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those fights you can't look away for a second. Both men are landing very cleanly and intelligently, but it seems like, at the end of the day, like I said, Munoz is taking a little bit of the brunt, and Josh Raee is seeing if he can crack that chin just a little bit, being very conscious and working the body and the chin as well. Cryptics is not out of this at all yet, but he's definitely taking a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah, landing these shots on the inside. We see Josh Raee taking a little bit more of a counter approach in this one, working his jab, and that's honestly one of Rob Font's best tools, is that jab. He has a long, rangy, sniping jab, so to continue to pop your opponent in the face with that is definitely a recipe for success if he continues to use it in such an educated fashion. Cryptic, though, is doing an excellent job of just getting some shots in when he can. Definitely needs to be a little bit careful of that health as Font continues to land with absolute savagery, man. Just the power is really raining through from Rob Font at the moment.
Yeah, he's definitely showing composure, trying to land those body shots when he can, trying to get out of the way of that jab, like you said. But overall, it just seems like Josh Raee is getting ahead of him in every aspect of the game right now.
Continuing to tromp forward, attacks the body once more, does Munoz, doing an excellent job attacking the head, trying to get the slip counters off. Honestly, Cryptic is doing an excellent job of bringing himself back into this fight. He was having so much adversity, now starting to get a bit of a mix-up on the go. Stamina is now actually in his favor when he was slightly behind previously, and even the actual head health and body health, I think, is starting to very, very slowly creep into Cryptic's favor.
Yeah, I do feel like I have to correct myself. I was saying Josh Raee was slowly getting into his own and figuring out this point, but it seems like Cryptic has found his way back into this fight, and he's landing the way cleaner shots right now.
Yeah, it's just the shots that are doing the damage, and some of these spinning elbows from Font, they're really starting to tax on the stamina. I understand that they have such, huge damage that they can put out should they land correctly, but so far Cryptic has stayed very, very cognizant of them and been able to avoid them. That's a big power shot right there, though. Rob Font sits him down, trying to follow up with the finishing blows. But Cryptic...
Yeah, that's the danger of somebody playing Rob Font. He has explosive power out of nowhere. He can hit you with a couple jabs, and just one hook can set you down like nothing. And like I said, he's just trying to crack that Muno's chin, and he did right there. But Cryptic, he's still showing that he's game, and possibility that he can maybe work himself into that fight, back in the fight in the third round. I do believe he had some of the original stamina difference, but at the same time, he might be down 2 rounds now because of that knockdown.
Sure. Right now, though, all the play for the recovery of Munoz is phenomenal. He's having some problems, as you see. The 1-2 tags gets him rocked. That has got to be it. One shot follow-up. Josh Raee gets the W. That man is on an absolute tear. Undefeated currently. I believe that makes him 4 or 5-0. Josh Raee becoming a bit of a problem, having a lot of adversity tonight, Wondrous, but able to get the job done.
And like I said before, who needs stamina when you have power? Just that explosive one-shot power. He had him hurt in the second round, and he knew he could close it out in the third. So he just stayed to his point, worked those jabs, and just finally got that finish. And just, like you said, it was just one shot away from knocking him out on the ground.
Absolutely phenomenal fight so far, man. As to be expected, we have a fan-friendly fight up next. We're going to be having TMF Dale motherfucking Denton taking on AJS Warbzy. Both guys undefeated within the promotion in Season 2. Looking to continue that. Somebody's O has to go as we enter into the flyweight bout between these two guys. Not the stamina was ever going to be a problem, but Dale Denton's stamina never, ever an issue in any of his bouts, and neither in Warbzy's either. We see a TJ Dillashaw pick up against a Henry Cejudo, if my eyes did not deceive me there, Wondrous, which is a very, very interesting matchup heading into this bout.
Yeah, Henry Cejudo is very well balanced in the striking and on the feet. He's got great cardio, and we know TJ Dillashaw is someone in the same aspect. But this thing is, TJ has somewhat of the reach advantage, but you see Dale, he's just picking those shots beautifully. He does get caught, needs to worry about those long extended fights with TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw can be very dangerous. Beautiful head kick lands, and he rocks him already pretty quickly, but Dale survives. He's now out of the woods, away from that cage. He's just trying to put on a little bit more pressure and pick his shots.
Tries to go for that front kick. The power of Dale Denton with Henry Cejudo is definitely going to become problematic should he land with some couple of clean shots. Obviously, we see Warbzy trying to do his best to stay a little bit elusive, work the legs if he can of Dale Denton. But oh, nice knee from Warbzy. That was cleanly connected.
Yeah, I do have to highlight Warbzy's body work is really taking its toll right now. He's definitely showing some great skill in just timing those shots to the body and not getting caught. But he is slowly starting to get caught more and more as Dale Denton puts on the pressure.
Chop in, attack, straight lead hook, body kick. Beautiful work. Doing great. Eats a couple of shots though. Warbzy attacking the body right there as well. That's definitely an educated game plan. Knowing that Dale Denton's stamina definitely does not generally drain of its own accord, so going to that well early could start to play dividends as the course of the fight continues. But it looks like Dale is taking, much like he did in some of his past performances, an incredibly active approach to this first round, just being very, very in your face, popping you full of shots.
Yeah, it's definitely an extended war of the game plan. Warbzy is looking for that elongated fight where he can just work Dale Denton's stamina Dale's just, trying to apply the pressure and get a rock, possibly knock him down and, take his fight to the ground as well once he does that. But Warbzy's not out of the woods. He's definitely showing great body work, but he's also taking a lot of shots in the exchanges.
Trying what he can, marching forward. The block definitely starting to become a little bit problematic. Honestly, the difference really now is starting to be the damage output. Both guys back and forth, jockeying for position. That's a beautiful front kick, marching forward. Death combinations on display. Can he get the finish? Can he sit him down?
Yeah, it's definitely a great shot by Warbzy. He tried to set it up earlier, but he didn't land. But he landed that time, and he's putting on the pressure now. And Dale is slowly starting to back up instead of applying that pressure that was working so well before. Beautiful slip, and he hits him with a hook, but he can't get the follow-up because Dale's just wise to it. This is a great fight already.
Said fan-friendly fight, some would say the people's main event. No, I'm joking. These guys, they are absolute killers. Seriously, it was one of the fights to watch out for. Always action-packed, fan-friendly fights in these, where these guys are stepping into the cage. So matching them up together was a beautiful, beautiful plan. Somebody's always got to go. Neither guy letting it go easily as they match up for the second round, starting very quickly. Looks like TJ Dillashaw trying to take the center and the lead of the second round.
Yeah, it's definitely no man's game completely. It's still a great fight overall. Dale's showing I was going to say he was showing a little bit worse for wear, but now he lands that huge strike and puts Warbzy on the back foot.
Yeah, his nickname is the Comeback Kid. He's one of those guys that's dangerous to the last buzzer, never really allows himself to get out of the fight mentally. Always looking for that finish, given an opportunity. Warbzy, much of the same ilk, looking to land a pullback counter there, just marginally missing.
Yeah, it's definitely a great fight so far. Seems like Warbzy is coming into his zone and trying to find those strikes when he pressures forward, but he's eating a lot of body shots. And it seems like Dale's giving him a little bit of his own medicine with a few shots.
Honestly, it's a very, very close fight. The damage is really starting to be evenly displaced between both competitors. Both are within the death range right now. Looks like Dale is actually getting the worst of the wear. Looks like Warbzy's on the turn. He's actually feeling some momentum and looking to land more and more shots as the course of this round ticks down. Got to be very careful, Dale Denton has. Can't allow this fight to slip away for him as he lands that lovely straight lead hook.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good, but he's also landing some really good shots. And that damage is slowly starting to creep in as he drops him. And that head health is dangerously low. He drops him again.
Henry Cejudo's chin is standing up in this one. Dale Denton doing all he can to buy a couple of moments, allow his chin to recover, maybe look for an opportunity to change the tides with one big shot. We know TJ Dillashaw's chin is compromised as well, but he steps off into the hook, lands it once more.
And that head kick was so close to ending that fight. If he landed it, it could have been over, but Dale Denton wise to it. He takes him to the ground. We'll see what he can do from here.
Absolutely phenomenal pace being set out by both guys. Like I said, just absolutely expected. Neither guy wanting to live down to their namesakes of entertaining fighters, but also wanting to make sure that they fight tooth and nail to make sure that they continue to keep that O in the second season. Right now, it's anybody's game as we go into the last 30 seconds of this second round, heading into the third and final round of this bout.
And like you said, Dale's health Dale's stamina never depletes, but his chin health is. As we see it, he goes in and tries to go for the finish right now. He gets it.
Big work done by Warbzy to close out that second round. My God, I thought we were going to see the third, but he had other plans. Gets it done this evening against the dangerous Dale Denton. All respect, entertaining bout, one race. Honestly, non-stop action start to finish. Much respect to Warbzy on that big victory.
Yeah, it was definitely a back and forth fight, but Warbzy put on that damage and he put it on often, and eventually he found the win.
Lovely pullback elbow you see in the highlight there that sits him down, followed up by those finishing blows for the finish. Warbzy picking up a W, continues to keep his O. Much success to that man. Bright future ahead of him for sure.
Yeah, it's a great fight overall. Honestly, we have so many more fights in store that have just absolute barn burners. So I'm definitely excited to see what comes up next.
Yeah, 3 scheduled fights left on the board. We're going to be having our last fight, the main card before the co-main and the main event, which is going to be EK Dirty Dave up against SpaceBoi. Interested in this bout. I know Dirty Dave has been chomping at the bit to get into this fight. Cannot wait to see these two square off. I know it's going to be in a tough weight class, light heavyweight. Lots of power hitters in this one there, Wanderers.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see it. It's always a barn burner with these two. And definitely at light heavyweight, it's going to be something interesting to see.
These guys staring opposite each other now. Looks like we may be seeing a Peter Yan v. Peter Yan? Jan Blachowicz v. Jan Blachowicz. Would have been interesting to see Peter Yan up in light heavyweight.
I was going to say, he is pretty big for Batamweight, but I don't know if he...
Then these guys know that they're good to go. But, you know, obviously an interesting weight class. It's a very interesting weight class, this one as a whole. You're going to have, you know, lots and lots of power. Both guys... Oh, no, he switches you up to Jerry Prohachka and Jan Blachowicz. Interesting match, one that you imagine we're going to see IRL in the very near future. At least while Jerry's chin continues to hold up, that man's definitely a problem. Has unorthodox striking, creative, and you know, comes from all sorts of angles up against the more traditional striking of Jan, where you know, obviously that power, that Polish power, is seriously problematic there, one real say. I mean, for anybody in this division, 205 division.
Well, let's hope SpaceBoi actually, you know, blocks with his hands rather than his face like Cheery does, though. Definitely, it's a measured fight. You know, they're both trying to figure out each other's range, each other's capabilities. Dave, starting out with the leg kicks very early, tries to follow up to the head, but he's just met by the clinch, but doesn't take much damage. He tries to take the takedown, but gets pushed up against the fence.
Stops the back date. Dirty Dave has been training non-stop 24 hours for this. Man has not slept. Coming into this one, cranked out, trying to get the job done. Now finds himself on bottom. Looks like SpaceBoi's going to try and take a calm, calculated approach. Work some ground and pound to the body. Now the head. Separation on board for Dirty Dave. Back to the feet. He's been working on his hands a lot recently there, One Rios. So he's going to have some silky smooth techniques in his back pocket, working with the likes of Spider, Dino, and obviously the champ Trixie.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of his fights, and it's always a very entertaining fight to see win or lose no matter what. And SpaceBoi's definitely, you know, a relative, someone unknown coming into this match against somebody like Dave. But I'm very excited to see what he can bring to the table against a veteran of PrimeTime for sure. Yeah,
and the interesting note, this is obviously on the PlayStation side of things. Dirty Dave now switching across to PlayStation. Maybe why you're not as familiar with SpaceBoi on the, you know, PrimeTime scene, but he's been doing great work so far. He has a very tough opponent, you know, across from him this evening there, One Race, as you rightly alluded to a moment ago. He goes for another takedown here. Looks like the takedown defense is going to hold up for Dirty Dave, and it does.
It's definitely a back and forth fight from both gentlemen. He does take his back and drags him to the canvas. SpaceBoi tried to go for that reversal, but it gets denied, and this is definitely where Dirty Dave just shines on the ground in the grappling department.
Top mount, flips him over. Great work. See if he goes for the postured up in this one.
And the patience shown from Dave just to wait it out, you know, just work with those little chipping shots and then get the top mount. Most people would rush to get into it, and therefore they would probably get denied or reversed.
Elbows now raining down. Dirty Dave trying to make a run at the PlayStation Championship. If he's able to get a win here this evening, he's another step closer to being able to do so. Easily stops that denial. Dirty Dave, such a seasoned grappler, gonna have to be very, very, careful on the ground against him. Can't allow him to get anything going too easily, otherwise he will take your neck or your arm or your leg home with him.
Yeah, I will. Dave showed very patient maneuvers on the ground, whereas SpaceBoi was just having a little bit of trouble trying to find himself in that category. It did show that, he had a few more strikes landed, but Dave's the type he will take his time until he knows he has an opportunity.
Nice leg check, answers back with a leg kick as well. This is good work from Jerry. This could be very, very good for him if he continues down this sort of route.
He definitely has to keep that pressure up, try to avoid those takedowns, and just work the legs, try to keep his distance. That's what seems to be the key for him right now.
Stops the body kick. Honestly, the defense looking very good from SpaceBoi. Decides to enter in the clinch, working the body fairly nicely. Dirty Dave using the power of the Polishman to back him up against the cage. Does a great job of trying to make the cage feel a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller. Now deciding to back up, play in the center a little bit. Attacking the body once more is Dirty Dave. Very, very back and forth over the opening 8 minutes of this bout there, Wanderers.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting fight so far. Dave seems to have just a bit of the stamina advantage, but with the light heavyweights, that's not always a case of it make or break. There's just that one-shot power to end the night, any crisp combination, and Dave just lands a huge head kick of his own and drops him. Now he's applying the pressure, and he's just trying to go for the finish, and he nearly gets it. It was very close, just all around good survivability from SpaceBoi, but he's trying to rush. He's getting a little panicked in this aspect. He's trying to get off the ground, and he just doesn't set up those, doesn't set up the get up very well. And now he's taking a few strikes on the ground from stack guard. Dave is just showing a clinic on the ground right now after that knockdown. He's not letting SpaceBoi have any time to breathe.
Stops that. Nice work once again. Stops the denial.
Yeah, he's just landing just those short, precise elbows, and SpaceBoi's in a lot of trouble right now with no stamina. He does get to sprawl, but Dave tries to go for the submission, and he just gets denied. But still, it's really bad right now for SpaceBoi. He keeps trying to get up, but he's not setting any of it up and just keeps getting denied. He finally gets up with 30 seconds to go, but I do not think he will win this round. Dave's staying very patient right now, picking his shots. He does get caught by that jab. With 6 seconds to go and going into the third round, what do you think SpaceBoi will have to do? What type of adaptations will he have to do for the third round?
Honestly, I think it's got to be done on the feet. He needs a big finish in this third round. He's had some success here as well. His unorthodox striking, when he's able to keep the range a little bit, he seemed to be having some success trying to catch Dirty Dave, maybe overextending, trying to reach some of those kicks. But honestly, as the fight has gone on there, Wanderers, I do feel like Dirty Dave is just starting to really get into his flow. You can see him becoming more and more composed, feeling more confident in his attacks. And a confident Dirty Dave is a problematic one.
Well, it's very exceptional to see, when Dirty Dave now made his transition to PS4. The skill is still there, even with the change in controls and the change in mechanics on PS4 side. He's definitely showing a great, just overall grasp of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he has an understanding of the game which is going to transverse, you know, between games and between. He's been playing on it for a little while now, so he's not completely new to the PlayStation side. And like you say, his all-round MMA knowledge is going to translate between consoles, as we're seeing already in this one. Oh, big attack to the body, chomps at it.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good for SpaceBoi. He knows he has to land that one big strike. That is the only thing that will possibly get him finished in this round. But he does know that Dave is very dangerous, so he's trying to find his openings. Where they may be, I do not know.
Yeah, right now the stamina deficit is so heavy. He's still got a bit of head health, still got the body, but Dirty Dave's so far ahead and looks like he's going to continue to just maintain this distant, poke at his opponent and wait for that big power shot to be landed. Doesn't look like he's going to open himself up, and I can understand why. Jerry's a powerful man. He lands one shot, he could just change the entire course of the fight. Lovely knee. My God.
Just catches him when he tries to duck down. Possibly may have been for a takedown or just to avoid a strike to his head. He goes for that little chip damage, the body shot and to the head, and just takes his time. SpaceBoi's kind of rushing the get up, and like I said from before, he needs to set it up. Dave is not the type of guy who will let you get back up without any reprieve.
Able to stop, get straight into the crucifix. There's only a minute left on the scorecards, and honestly this is a terrible position to be in if you're SpaceBoi. Dirty Dave now homing in on this finish. I'm sure he has the taste of victory in his mouth as he denies that crucifix transition once again. This is just gonna be terrible. Going for a submission attempt is Dirty Dave. 30 odd seconds left on the clock. He's probably gonna get this one pretty cleanly. Oh my, that's dirty, brother. Knee on neck.
Oh, that's a brutal submission right now. It's locked in, and man,
Might be the first in primetime history. Jesus. Dirty Dave putting on a clean-ass performance this evening there.
What a dirty submission. That was brutal to see.
Yeah, that's the dirty in Dave, that right there.
And you don't even see that type of submission often, so that was just brutal to see.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful work. Phenomenal performance. That guy did excellent, and you should be very, very proud of his performance tonight. Interesting to see where he goes from there. Potentially he'll be facing the champion in somewhat in the near future. With performances like that, it's going to be hard to deny him for too long, for sure. With that all being said, we now move on to our co-main event of the evening there, Wanderers, which is going to be a matchup on the Xbox side of things between EK Slick and LFC Zombie. LFC Zombie, of course, is coming from the LFC side of things, an incredibly dangerous all-round opponent, has excellent grappling and anti-grappling, unorthodox striking. Not really much needs to be said about the EK boys. They're obviously one of the more dominant camps on the scene, period. Slick Cult, a veteran of the scene, especially within this promotion in particular, the ESFL side of things as well, of course. An incredibly well-rounded fighter these days. Somebody that used to just be a dangerous grappling threat, but with working in, with the boys in EK, with the likes of Trixie, that came across obviously from PFAP, obviously the additions of now working with Spider, Dino, and so on. His hands have become incredibly clean. So I think we're going to see a new and improved version of Slick Cult. I wonder if he's going to try to implement that grappling approach we've seen in the past and really start to put that on his opponent. But both guys seem to be well-rounded, and it really has all of the interesting hallmarks to make a really fun bout there, brother.
Yeah, it's definitely a fight that is just coming up from all these fights. It's going to be a really big fight. Co-main of EK Slick. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I
co-main EK Slick. You're right, brother. You co-main EK.
Okay, I was just making sure because I was like, EK Slick. I've seen several of his fights. He's a dominant competitor. And LFC Zombie. He's definitely one of those fighters that you have to watch out for at any point in the fight. And I don't know. I've never seen EK Slick on the Vittori, so for me, it's kind of weird to see.
Well,
But
yeah,
Whitaker is a very strong pick.
He's
I don't
he's a
know.
grappler. Like, obviously by trade is Slick Colt. So Vittori's got the boxing to go with it as well, which is probably his thinking, is that he can grapple as well. But you are absolutely right there, One Rios. Whitaker definitely the more kind of meta pick, should we say? You know, he has the more well-rounded stats. That's not going to help you too much though if you find yourself on bottom under EK Slick. Instantly into side control. Nice defense on bottom by Whitaker, but has to continue to mind those P's and Q's. This is dangerous waters to be in.
Yeah, he's definitely showing some great groundwork as he is known for. Whitaker does get that, that backside. He's trying to possibly bait out some movements where he can capitalize on it, but he lets him up. Zombie's definitely not afraid of the ground game. He's very well versed in all aspects of the game, but he feels like he has a possible advantage on the stand-up, and he drops him down with that beautiful strike.
Head kick attempt from Whitaker. Couple of knees attempted also. Good up kick. The up kick of Doom continues to mean that he's able to work his way back to the feet, start to try and get those strikes going as well. I mean, the advantage is definitely going to go into his favor, or so you would think, with the Whitaker pick on the feet. Lovely combination, lands cleanly, attacks to the leg, chops at it, trying to march forward on these combinations.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's definitely somewhat back and forth, but seems like Zombie has the advantage as of now. He's landed that knockdown and he's putting on the pressure with those strikes. Slick definitely has somewhat of the advantage on the ground, it seems, but overall, what do you think Slick has to do in the coming up of the second round and possibly, the fight?
Well, I mean, Slick's doing what he needs to do, my man. Continue to work the hands, be a little bit more defensive on the feet, of course, but continue to work the ground and pound. When he gets the fight down, it's his fight to win. Obviously, on the feet, we've seen Zombies just bursting with combinations, so maybe being a little bit wary of that going forward. I'm sure that caught him a little bit by surprise. You don't often see somebody just plant and rip a 4 or 5 piece combination like we have seen in Zombs in that first round. But yeah, it's a very, very closely competitive bout. As you said, advantages to Zombies in the striking, advantages to Slick in the striking for sure. Still another 10 minutes left on the clock, potentially. Plenty of time for either guy to really start to run away with this one.
Yeah, it's definitely, Zombie's got to feel confident with that knockdown. He definitely knows he has to stay on the feet for everything to work out in his favor. He does have, some ground capabilities with the Whitaker pick, but Slick is definitely kind of, facing some adversity going on into the early parts of the second round.
Yeah, EK Slick in between rounds saying he definitely should have warmed up first. I think you should have, brother. He gets the takedown there, though. 4 minutes 20 on the clock. Lots of time to work for him. This is going to be extremely, confidence building. Sorry, I couldn't think of my words for EK Slick.
Yeah, he's EK Slicks. This is where, this is his playground. This is where he shines. He definitely needs to control this fight right here in order to get some semblance of an advantage, if you will say. He's landing some good shots, but he's taking his time, being patient overall.
Attempting it, rolling across. I mean, there's lots of time to work here, and this is the thing now. If he spends another 3 minutes on top, then this is probably Slick Colt's round. Obviously, Zombies is still looking very good defensively and has the stamina to be able to mount an attack should he be able to work his way back to his feet. That's a great denial for him there. But once again, Slick Colt all over the transition, now trying to rein in some ground and pound, instantly posturing back down, making sure his opponent did not have the opportunity to get up. Once again, just two very educated game plans going at each other, trying to see who's able to implement it the best going into this one.
I do like to see the fact that Zombie is staying very composed on the ground as well. He knows he has the advantage on the feet, and he knows he does not really want to be here, but he's not making any mistakes or trying to rush for a get up to put him in a compromising position.
Working the shots little by little, attacking that body, going to the head once again. It all starts to chop up, but these elbows from the full guard, they're very, very good for Zombie. They do actually do a decent amount of damage, and the more you can get of them in, obviously the more they chip away at that total head health. Only a minute left on the clock. Looks like Slick Colt is going to continue to ride out this position all over the denials, working them beautifully, using that posture up to get over into the half guard, just making sure that he rides out this roll, getting the top mount now with 45 seconds left on the clock. One rest, plenty of time as he goes for the ground and pound.
Yeah, it's definitely not where Zombie wants to be, and those are heavy, heavy shots landing. He does not want to be here at all, and he just gets bombarded with strikes. He blocks some of them as well, posting up very thoroughly. He does manage to survive, but this is not exactly ideal.
Oh, Jesus. That's it. He sits him out with it. Marvin Vettori, EK Slick, gets the W. Early adversity. No warm-up needed. Able to get it, brother. Able to get it. That was a great performance by him. You know, like you said, on the feet, Zoms looked fantastic, but when it hit the mat, EK Slick was just able to continue to chip away at it until he got that victory.
And honestly, I might have to check out Vettori after seeing that. He has dominant ground and pound from what I can see now.
Yeah, for sure. He's able to mix it all together. He definitely is a problem. And if you utilize him like that, then, you know, obviously you're going to have a lot of success. And that's what EK Slick looked to do this evening. It's what he was able to do. Beautifully worked by that man. And I'm sure he's going to be feeling pretty good with himself, especially after not coming into that fight warmed up from his own description. So to come in there pretty cold and to put it together like that over the course of 3 rounds, great work for him.
And to stay composed through all that adversity as well.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Exactly, man. Exactly. That, though, it does, I don't know if you know, take us on to our main event of the evening there, Wanderers. We're going to be having the PlayStation champion, the all-round grappling god that is TD Styles, trying to defend his belt up against the dangerous up-and-comer in the rematch from the Grand Prix from the PlayStation opener. Going to be Kai. Going to be Khamzat Borgs Chimaev, also known as Kai Trailers. This man has very, very good grappling, has shown that he can hang there in their first outing. I'm really interested to see what adjustments they're able to make there, one rest. I don't know if you can recall back to that PlayStation bout, but it was a really, really fun matchup.
I do believe, if I remember correctly, did Kai take it?
No. It was okay. TD Styles that won it. It was the finals for the PlayStation Grand Prix, and it was a really, really closely contested bout. I think Styles won very late round finish or maybe a decision, but it was a really closely contested bout and very, very fun one for sure.
Oh yeah, now I remember. It was a little bit of time ago. I do believe I had an occurrence come up. That's probably why I forgot it.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So what we've got going on here, the main event, heading into it straight away, not going to waste any time. These guys, of course, as you saw on the posters, going to be George St. Pierre for Styles and Kamaru Usman up for Kai Trailers. We've seen this from the champion before. This is actually what I believe their initial matchup ended up being. The finals was in welterweight the first time round, so they go back to it this time round. Starting the straight, side kick to the body. Looks like TD Styles not wasting any time trying to take the center of the cage and the leading position in this fight.
Yeah, it's definitely his style, as his name suffices to say. He wants to be pressuring forward at all times. Kai, I've seen several of his fights. He's a great competitor. He's definitely the Usman pick is very strong for him because he's definitely a dominant grappler, but Styles with the GSP pick, it's definitely something to watch out for as well.
Keeps popping him in the face with that jab. So far, Styles being very, very active, looking to take center and charge of this fight, looking to implement his game plan and his will early. Kai staying calm, composed, looking to circle on the outside, attacking that body often and early, which is going to play massive dividends. Styles obviously returning the favor with some nice knees and body uppercuts on the inside. Both guys jockeying for position as they course over the opening 2 minutes of this round. Nice takedown attempt. Not able to get it. The takedown defense on point for Kai.
Beautiful denial of that takedown at the last second. He's right back on the feet, and it's very close, surprisingly, between these two game competitors, but he gets hit in the face by that beautiful front kick.
Beautiful work. The combination's really flowing. Doesn't look like Styles wants this fight to go long this evening. Really putting it all together, letting his hands flow, mixing in those takedowns, given the opportunity. Maybe the stamina will become a little bit problematic, especially with the chips that Kai is doing, but if he continues to land these big power shots, then the stamina's not really a concern if your opponent's face down on the canvas.
Oh no, not at all. You can take a nap right after winning a fight like that.
Yep, for sure, bro, for sure. Starting out early, switch kicks to the body. Looks like the champ is trying to do body work of his own, but his body is being tested often and early. That seems to be a game plan of Kai coming into this rematch. And honestly, I think that that's a very educated play. That's going to play massive dividends should they go into the later rounds. Obviously, the champ recognizes it and is trying to get that back of his own. But so far, I think Kai's just getting slightly the better of that bodywork.
Yeah, it's definitely a back and forth fight. You know, Kai's doing pretty well, especially with that strike after being rocked, and he's applying the pressure, and this is where Kai shines. He's pushing him up against the cage, trying to find his strikes, but Styles answers back and just maintains composure.
Yeah, he injured Lion Man at his most dangerous. He was rocked and he just started chaining up on those combinations. Said, walk onto one of these wood chippers if you want.
Yeah, it's definitely so far a really evenly contested fight. Both men having rocks early on. And honestly, this is a really good fight to call. This is an amazing fight overall.
No time wasted. They're going to touch him up for the second round. Remember, this is a 5-round fight. They're fighting like it's a 3-round. Trying to get each other out as quickly as they can. Another big rock for the champion. Sits him down with the right hand.
Beautiful shot landed by Styles, and he immediately shoots for the takedown and gets it.
High-level gameplay at its finest. TD Styles now able to get that takedown after the prior rock. Going to be working this position. The denial is there. This is where he does his most dangerous work, his favored side control position. Not as dominant as it once was in UFC 3, but when you've got the hands of the ever-dominant champion holding you in that position, it can feel just as deadly as it ever has. Backside now. Champion looking to sit across into that position. Challenger able to defend. The denial's so red hot at the moment. Honestly, it's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely cracked out of their minds to hit some of these denials. Amazes me each and every time.
Yeah, it's a great fight to call. Both showcasing very good grappling skills in each aspect. They're content to just, you know, take chips away, and GSP gets top mount. Styles is very dangerous right here. He gets the denial, and he's just going to start raining down some of those strikes and just working at the head hold of his opponent.
Chips to the head, stops the posture up. Once again, goes for it. 2 minutes left. The head defense, or the movement from Kai, able to stop that. Now back to their feet, trying to land some bombs on the inside, but the champion's there, ready to answer with some combinations of his own.
Yeah, Kai's definitely, you know, he's not the type to just, when he gets that moment of adversity, he just regains his calm, and he's still looking pretty good throughout this fight. And as you said, these guys are going like it's a 3-round fight, both of them just going at it, and it's hard to tell when you still have 3 rounds left to go who really it will favor.
Attacking the body, great work. Continues to rip at it. Styles, though, the stamina starting to look a little bit worrisome. Kai's not exactly fantastic either. But 30 seconds left on the clock. We're going to have to see who recovers the most going into the third round. Not even the championship rounds. Woo! Sorry, caught me a little bit. 19 seconds. Does he posture? Can he get the ground and pound?
Definitely a somewhat close fight to call, even though Styles got that knockdown in the second, but both of them are showing incredible gamesmanship so far.
Yeah, Kai is in this fight till the very last buzzer. He does not let anything slip away without, fighting tooth and nail, as I said a little bit earlier on. Obviously Styles looking great, but now his head health getting checked, and the actual chin of GSP is maybe not at its best. So once it starts to get a little bit cracked and a little bit compromised, maybe the durability of Usman may come into play as the fight courses on. But so far so good. Styles once again with the takedown, now back into that emotional abuse of a position, which is side control.
Yeah, he definitely does not want to be here for an elongated time, but he's maintaining, just a calm composure and just waiting for his opportunity to move out of this position. He does get denied, though, and that was huge. He waited for the GA to mount, but he couldn't get out of there as well, so it's definitely going to play in Styles' favor at this point.
Working the body, the champion, raining them down. He's obviously just so dominant in these positions. It causes such a, such a kind of drowning effect for you when you're on bottom. I've been in them before. That's why he's been referred to as emotional abuse in the past, because he gets you here and he just takes away every ounce of soul that you have. He's not just looking to beat you up physically. He's looking to wear on you mentally in these positions. And you wouldn't believe it from such a nice guy, but this is his bread and butter, and he does it so beautifully.
For such a nice guy to be abusive on the ground.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've been there before against many people in OWC or in sparring sessions. And honestly, it's very frustrating. Even when you try to stay composed, in your head, you try to stay that way, but overall, you just automatically react to it, in most cases, in the negative way.
Yes, sir.
But Kai's still staying very composed, but this is definitely not where he wants to be as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to bide his time, but as he's biding his time, the champion's just continuing to chip away and get this fight a little bit more and more in his favor. I mean, so far so good for him. He works the short ground and pound shots, which continues to do so. Very, very much workman-like performance from Styles. Once again, trying to reign for as long as he can, trying to make sure that this PS belt stays with him. He's the first and only PlayStation champion at the moment. Gets reversed, though. Only 10 seconds on the clock. Not enough time for the challenger to really get anything going.
And just great posting from Styles to block most of the damage in that exchange.
They go to touch them up in the fourth round, now hitting the championship rounds. And GSP actually still looking fairly fresh in terms of the stamina. That's very, very interesting. Obviously able to minimize the damage that he was able to take over the last round or two. Lovely uppercut. Sits down on it. Now marching forward. These may be the last couple of combinations required to sit his opponent down.
He does land a good shot of his own, but he left his guard a little bit too open, and he pays for it and gets knocked down. And now Styles gets that denial, and he's trying to get him to the ground. Nice get up from Kai just to, avoid him getting taken down. But as you see, the numbers land 162 to 121. It's not entirely one-sided, but Styles is slowly starting to take away any chance Kaya has of winning this fight. And in the 4th round, he has to think of something, maybe look towards a finish, because this is definitely not going to be his fight for a decision.
Right now he's having all sorts of problems there, One Wrist, really, really is. Styles is just absolutely in the zone, not allowing himself to take any damage. At perfect range for the takedown once again, able to secure it. 2 minutes 40 on the clock. He's not going to give this up, easily. He's going to look to hold this for as long as he can. Gets that first denial off. Crucifix has got to be imminent. In fact, I say that.
Ashing as well. Every denial is just on point. He's maintaining that top pressure and just chipping away at Kai's health. And seeing somebody like Kai being put into this situation is definitely demoralizing for anyone just thinking about what they would do in that position as well.
Yeah, honestly, when Styles gets into these positions, he's just so good at holding them. Especially once he's got that first denial off, you are basically fucked. You're not getting out there easily. You're really not.
Just the physical strain of trying to find that position out of it on the controller, and then the mental strain of just trying to survive.
Well, the thing is, bro, it's easy, right? You move left, you move right, you move up, you move down, whatever the transition is. But Styles just has cracked, senses. He can block denials like I've just never seen before. He's honestly cracked with it, especially in these side control positions. He's got the animations down to a T, and man, you're just fucked in those positions. Look at him, he's just raining down these shots right now. He knows he's not going to get it, good back down, and he's just, once again, 19 seconds, decided to posture up and go for the thing. This is a workmanlike performance from a champion that doesn't look like he's going to be giving up his belt anytime soon.
Yeah, and now he's laying down some ground and pound for the end of the bell, but overall it's just Kai has to possibly find one shot, possibly go for a knockout or a submission to end this fight in order to win. And Styles seems like he's just cruising now to an easy win for himself. He's been maintaining just dominant control overall the whole fight, and Kai eats that shot and gets cracked in aspect. He tries to return, but the stamina is just lacking for him right now. There's not much he can do in this aspect.
Really not. Chopping at that leg once again is Styles going to the body with the teeps. Just look how calm he is in these positions. He's not forcing anything. He's going to wait for that. And he's already got a rock in this round as well. A lot of people will just be busting everything they had right now trying to get that finish. But he's just so far ahead. Why do it, One Race, right? When you continue to chip away and let it come to you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it shows there's levels to this game. Some people would try to just go for the finish immediately, but he's just walking forward like it's round one of the fight.
Oh, and that's what happens. Let it come to you and you will see it go. What the fuck, man? We don't get to see the replays, unfortunately. That was a phenomenal knockout, though. Really sits him down on that one. My God.
Performances I've seen from Styles in a long time. It seemed like it was effortless after the second round. He just came into his own and just found all the tools he needed and just demoralized Kai on the ground.
Yeah, honestly, beautiful work all round, and that does bring us to a conclusion of the event. I want to take a couple of seconds, just a little bit of housekeeping before we call an end to the show. Want to take a brief moment. Thank you very much, One Rest, for joining us. Stepped in on short notice for the commentary. It is much appreciated, brother. Obviously, great night of fights. I know there was a lot of sporting activities on tonight, whether it be the football or soccer, as some do like to call it, and obviously got the big event with the ESFL going on with the fight night side of things as well. So we appreciate each and every single one of you for stopping by. We will be back with you on Monday now for our fight night event. Going to be Yeetikus up against Simple Benny, I do believe. Should be a very, very fun fight with the advancements that both guys have been making in their games. Until then, I'm going to be peacing out. Cyrus the Looney, much love. One Rios, appreciate you once again, brother.
No problem, sir. You have a good night.